Ever since I was a little kid, my father used to say that I should not desire anything and stick to my brother's side as a shadow. I am a disappointment in myself. Ho ho, such a priceless sight to see. A knight fighting off the continent's strongest commanders on his own. Indeed, you are quite an interesting one, young man. I should not expect any less from you, as you are his brother. Cyan Vert, how does it feel to be a loser in your life? Stop laughing and tell me, who is the person behind all of this? Is it the Emperor? Arg, that black fog, I am sick of it. It is just like the rumors are, you are an assassin from the mist. I guess I will have to report to higher-ups that how I beat the living daylight out of you. Yeah sure, go ahead, I would like to see you try fight me. I guarantee you won't have any tooth remaining after I am done with you. If you intend to use your secret power, then you better give up now. You can't do anything against this 9-star magic barrier protecting us. I have to get out of here and reveal the culprit behind this plot with my brother. A barrier, you say? Let's see how long will it be able to hold my attacks. Cyan, that's enough. His big brother, Askelvert, makes an entry. Big bro, why are you standing along their side? My father said that big bro is the clan itself. His success meant my success. Could this mean the culprit behind all of this is you? No, I can't believe my eyes, there has to be some misunderstanding. Little bro, you seem confused that I am here. What? What is the meaning of this? Explain it to me. Cyan, you have carried out your duties well, for the clan, for the people, and for me. Therefore I am trying to take the burden off your shoulders. I don't understand this, did I do something wrong? Wrong, you say? You are nothing more than a murderer, it's a shame to even call you a human anymore. You have fooled us for so long, and after all of this, you dare to say that you don't even know your sin. Murder? My sins? What the hell is he talking about? Has he forgotten about the succession fight within the Empire, the fight against the demon army and the war we fought together to unify the continent? I helped you to achieve all of that. I served you for my whole life and now you are abandoning me? I worked like an obedient dog for 20 years under you. At this point I don't even care if my entire body breaks down, I will give my life just so that I can destroy you. How is this possible? He still has that much mana left, is he even a human? How silly, the hero is trying to kill his younger brother because he is afraid. You should be ashamed of yourself. He is annoying me now. Cyan then charges at his brother, making multiple attacks. Just once, if only I can stab him one time at that weak spot, he won't be able to regenerate. Yes, this is my chance. What? A protective barrier. I almost got him this time, but these idiots got in the way. Askel then stabs him in the gut and he loosens the grip from his sword. My poor brother, you don't have to suffer so much, I will give you a painless death. After all, I knew that you were a demon from the start. It's a good thing that I never trusted you. He then kicks his little bro and he lays motionless on the ground. Is this my end? What a foolish life it has been. On his last breath, he made a final effort to kill Askel. Caught off guard, Cyan almost killed him, but he deflected it at the last moment and in the process killed him. Someone calls out to him and he wakes up gasping for air. How long do you intend to sleep for? You should be ready by now, young master. Emily, why are you here? Ha! It has been almost 20 years since I last saw her. She is still the same as before. This place seems familiar, I used to live here when I was younger. The furniture are same too. Wait, could this mean I am back to being a child? Young Master Cyan. It seems you are stalling for time because you don't want to go for training, huh? You should better get moving. Training? What training is she talking about? At the palace of Vert Clan Duchy. I am quite certain that I am back in the duchy in the past. Is this something like the memories that flashes in front of your eyes before death? I remember this place from 27 years ago, it was probably 1 year before I entered the academy. Dual training sessions are being held here every year. My father is the owner of this place, he always attends the event. And my opponent is this cocky kid, Kransvert. He is the same age as me, my half-brother. His mother Margaret Urzeth is the Duke's wife, and because of that Krantz received more attention than me. In my previous life, I was bullied a lot and after this duel, I became a laughingstock to everyone. My father was utterly disappointed in me, he even stopped paying any attention to me. His maid asks him to just surrender instead. Don't worry, I will win. Damn it, I was such a loser in my previous life, that even my maid is looking down on me. Why does this feel so heavy? Oh yeah, this body has same strength as it had before. This sensation is different, it is definitely not a dream. I have never heard of magic capable of creating such strong illusions. Have I really regressed back to the past? Well, you didn't run off, seems like you are in mood to get beaten up today. Ignoring his half-brother remarks, he thinks if this is real, then he can change the future. Okay, we will begin the duel. Krantz rushes forward. What are you daydreaming about, loser? Haha, this is too easy. Cyan thinks, why is he moving so slowly? Is he a snail? With one swift turn, he easily dodges his attack. Krantz is confused to see him vanish from the spot and his sword hits the ground. Stand still, you coward, don't try to dodge, just accept your defeat. He then disarms him in just a single slash of sword and then proceeds to kick him in his feet. He cries in agony, cursing him to use such dirty tactics. Oh my poor boy, Krantz, are you alright? While Krantz's mother is worried, the Duke is amazed. Now if I just put my sword up to his throat, this duel will be over. No, but that's not enough. In my previous life he always bullied me for his entertainment, he even bullied me in the academy too. So I will stomp him down so that he will never lift a finger against me. In this life, I will create a new path for myself. Stop it, Cyan, I beg you, please stop. I accept my defeat. A few moments later Krantz is lying, absolutely defeated, and Cyan wins the duel. After that, Duke ordered me to see him and even freed up his schedule. Is my victory that impressive? Even a high-class knight, Yulkin, is escorting me. Well, Krantz's mother is coming. It seems like she was talking with my father about his son. Hello miss, is Krantz okay? You little brat, you have the audacity to ask such a question after beating your brother like that. Isn't that how duels are supposed to be? You beat the living daylight out of your opponent if you want to. You are just like your mother who was. Never mind guys, she said something so bad that I don't even want to say it here. Anyway, she says that you should beg on streets for food, that's where you belong to. She crossed the line. Should I kill her now? No, I have something better to make her suffer even more. I will take my time to slowly torture her. You know that I will be going to academy along with Krantz, right? What crap are you trying to say? I am sure you want your son to graduate with his limb intact, right? I guess you are not worried about your son's safety, Duchess? You, little boy, how dare you talk like that, you piece of shit. Sorry for interfering, Duchess, the Duke has called him with utmost urgency. So I don't think we can delay anymore. We will be going now. Haha, she can't do anything right now. After all, the Duke's order are absolute here. I am being protected by guard knight who won't submit even to the Duke's wife, how nice and reliable. At the Duke's office. Cyan bows his head down and greets his father. He thinks it has been almost 15 years since he met one-on-one with him. Have a seat, boy. He is a very strong man and the world calls him as the guardian of the continent. In my previous life, he stopped the invasion of the demons for a long time. With the help of his magic power and wisdom, he fought bravely against the demons until his last breath. All that he wants is peace in the entire continent. But I think differently of him. He was a man of his free will, so he could have done anything he wanted. But he chose to serve others for his whole life, and that's why I think him of as a stupid man. In today's duel, your eyes precisely followed the sword and you dodged it. Yes, you are correct, sir. The moment Krantz ran towards you, you looked at the path of the swinging sword and turned your body accordingly. When did you learn to wield a sword? Just as I expected, he is sharp. I wouldn't say that I learned it, but I practiced it on my own every night. From what I know, you never had any interest in swordsmanship. So then why did you hide such excellent skills? Oh, because I didn't really want to catch other people's attention. You really did go all out at taking down Krantz. But what you did after, wasn't that unnecessary? Is he trying to test my capability, my willpower? Sir, I wanted to prove myself. Prove what? That I am far better than Krantz even though we share the same blood. Isn't that the reason why duels are being held in first place? Excellent. Such a clear and concise answer. This shows your great thinking. I didn't know you were so talented. I am very pleased. You will become a great support for Askell one day. What? Askell, why he? Why would I become his helper again? He killed me in the previous life. It's the same as always, father is still obsessed with the eldest son, Askell. Since I am quite happy with you today, I would like to give you a reward for the duel. If you want something then you can tell me. If he is still supporting Askell, then I will destroy everything he tried to do. For that I will ask for only one thing. His mate is shocked to hear that he is going to enter the battlefront. Yeah, that's right. I am not quite certain yet, if he will allow me or not. Have you gone nuts? Do you have any idea what kind of place that is? It's swarming with wicked and terrifying beasts. Velia's, the western part of the Ushif Empire, it is the only place in the entire continent to be called a battlefront. At this place battle between humans and demons have been going on for hundreds of years. Because of that my father stubbornly opposed my idea from start. But he put a condition, if I can show him that I am worthy of going to Lemia Valley within 1 month, then only he will allow me to go. I don't know on what basis he will decide my worth. First of all I will have to raise my physical strength as much as possible in the given time. I am weaker than my peers, but I still have same combat experience before I regressed. I can sense a little amount of magic within me. If I train this body, then I can definitely make good use of it. Yes, I can't delay anymore. I will start training right from today. A voice calls out him from the door, and then a lady with big melons enters the room. It is his sister Alice. As soon as she enters the room, she grabs him by collar, asking him, is he out of his damn mind? What were you thinking when you asked the father to send you to the battlefront, you idiot? Looks like you are being too overconfident after defeating Krantz. I think I will have to teach you some life lessons. Come with me to the rooftop right now. Now, at the rooftop. We will start when we draw our swords. I will let you go to the battlefront, if you can endure my attack for 3 minutes. Damn it, Alice, do you really have to go this far? I will not hear any complaint of yours. Just answer me one question, are you going after the family's title? Oh, I see, that's why she has challenged me, but I don't have slightest interest in that. So are you ready? Draw your sword. Give me a break, it hasn't been half a day since my duel with Krantz, and here I am fighting again. Without a word, Alice rushes forward. Ha! I am not even ready yet. I guess I will have to quickly deflect her attack. How is this possible? A mere 10-year-old boy blocked my attack. This is unfair, she is really going all out against me despite the fact I am 7 years younger than her. She then backs away. The blade he is using is very lightweight, yet he managed to deflect my longsword's attack. Was he lucky this time? Haha, you have got better intuition than I thought, my dear Cyan. Oh shit, I am done for. Alice then attacks him multiple times, and our protagonist is having a hard time dealing with her. Both of them swings their sword as if they were about to kill each other. Damn it, this is too close. He then swings his sword midway through. Alice slides back and Cyan lands on the edge of building. That could have been really bad. If I had not twisted my sword midway through, I would have killed her. Missed swordsmanship skill are mainly made to kill the opponents immediately. It's hard to fight without killing because my strength is lacking. How much time is there still left? I am compensating for my weak strength by imbuing the sword with my mana, but I am almost at my limit. I am done playing games with you. Earth, wind, come to me and act as my sword. Is she using a 6th star magic? She is using her special skill, Aqua Blade. Is she really trying to kill me? I thought this was just a test. It's over for me now, I can tell that by looking at her murderous eyes. Even if I block that attack, I will fall out of the castle. I guess, I will just have to trust my intuition. He then rushes forward towards her sister. In his mind, he is pleading with God, hoping that he will come out to save his ass. But then a guard, Yulkian, comes out as Cyan expected. With one hand he blocks Alice's attack and with other hand, he grabs Cyan. The clash is so powerful, that it could be seen from far away. In a heavy tone, he says, Miss Alice. You are being too harsh against a much younger opponent. Phew, I was wondering when he was going to appear. Alice then comes back to her senses. She then apologizes to Cyan, saying she just lost her mind for a second there. I just wanted to stop you from going to the battlefield. I was obsessed with protecting you, brother. This is very like her, she always tried so hard with everything. In my previous life, my sister was the elite of the elites who got S in all subjects in the academy. On top of that, she was so beautiful, that everyone called her God's child. From a young age she trained in swordsmanship. She was mentioned as being the future guardian of the continent, along with oldest son, Askel Vert. But not long after joining the Knights of Light, she was killed. I missed you, Alice, so much. I will definitely protect you this time. Cyan. What happened to you all of a sudden? Ah, now that I think about it, aren't you the Duke's guardian knight? Since the Duke left for war, so what is he doing here? I am carrying the Duke's order to protect the young master for a while. Although I am not supposed to tell you as it is a secret. I felt his presence ever since he left the Duke's office. He would have shown himself, if I continued fighting with Alice anyway. Tired from all the fighting, Cyan sleeps in the arms of her sister. Alice thinks he is still a little kid after all. I should not have gone so hard on him. Next day, Cyan is doing push-ups in his room. I feel the need to grow stronger, so that's why I have been focusing on strength training for the past 2 weeks. But 10 is my limit. I have only been hitting a wall for the past 2 weeks. In my previous life, confidence flowed throughout my whole body. I wish I could have all of that back. Young master, a package has arrived from Miss Alice. Really? What's with this bottle? It smells so disgusting. Oh, this is Hellhound's blood that I asked her to get it for me. It's a rare item that can only be found in Lemia Valley, and also in Black Market. The blood of demonic beast is considered as poisonous because of its sickening smell. It also has feeling of burning sensation upon consumption. But it actually increases the mana and strength of the person who consumes it. I knew about this from my previous life. Young master, are you really going to drink that? Yeah, don't worry Emily, I have eaten worse stuff than this, like the meals you cooked for me. I can still remember the first time I ate a mushroom soup you made for me. My heart stopped the moment I took a single bite of that thing. Compared to that soup, this is much better. Emily. Yes, master. I am going for a walk. Now, let's see if this worked or not. While running through some barren land, he reaches the outskirts of the city. Finally, I have been waiting for this day for the last 2 weeks. In my previous life I often came here, when I wanted to be alone. Then one day, Askell received a divine sword of light from God. That ancient temple must be hidden somewhere in these mountains. First I didn't believe that such a place could ever exist, but I was so wrong. All of these events will only happen in the future and I am the only one who knows about this right now. He then smashes the ground below him. Askell, that piece of shit, can't even imagine what I am going to do now. From his punch, a hidden passageway is revealed. Yes, this is it, I found it. This place seems different than my previous life. I correctly remember there was an ancient temple that served the god of light, Lumendal. There is no trace of history on this land, as those events happened 300 years ago. Who could imagine that this place existed in the mountains just behind the castle? Ah, yes, found it. This sword is the owner of the temple. In my previous life, the humanity finally succeeded in driving out the Demon King's army from Velias. Even though Demon King's army was far stronger than the humans. But humans found ancient relics called the gods' weaponry. This allowed them to win against them. And among those relics, this sword was blessed by the god of light, Lumendal. This sword was the main cause for the humans' victory. It was possessed by Askell in previous life and he killed me with it. Perhaps, this sword has something to do with my regression. He then touches the sword, but to his disappointment nothing happens. He then kicks the sword and leaves the place irritated. Let's just take care of the business here and then leave. Once you walk past the light, there's a shadow that feels out of the place. Found it. At first glance someone will think of it as the sword's shadow. But that's simply impossible, this is no ordinary shadow. Where there is light, there must be darkness too. Darkness, arise. Yes, this is the pathway to my beloved sword. It leads to another room, hidden by the altar of light. He then cautiously opens the door and finds his sword in front of him. My sword, my demonic sword Kiram. Saying this he pulls out the sword plunged in the stone. Good morning Kiram. How does it feel to be back right now? I don't sense anything from you, are you still asleep? Oh my, this feeling of holding my sword again, is so good. I want to kill something right now. Who dares to come here? You little child, don't you have any fear? Do you understand who you have awoken? I don't care about that. This sword is mine now. You made a huge mistake of waking up a demonic sword, now you will have to bear the consequences of it. It's too late to go back now. Your body, it's all mine to take. What? How could you grab me? Hey Kiram, you weren't so harsh before. Just who are you little human? I think you didn't heard me right. This sword belongs to me. After which she clenches her hand and swings it like a cat at Cyan. After getting back a few distance away from him. She says, just who are you? Are you the successor? Why do I feel Eru's aura from you? Yes you are right, I am the successor of Eru. Since your master is back, so show me some respect. Bow down in front of me, demonic sword Kiram. You are just a kid, I can't accept you as my master. She then charges at him, dealing multiple blows at once. I guess words won't do the work. After all, the demonic sword's final goal is to take over the body of the user. So I am left with no choice, I will have to use my triumph card. I will go a bit easy on her, since I don't want to abuse her. Demonic sword control. With just 3 words, an invisible force smashes her onto the ground. I will say this just once, why don't you accept me as your owner, while I am being still nice? You arrogant punk, how dare you use that on me? Demonic sword control. Don't you get the point, Kiram? I guess this much is not enough yet. He says demonic sword control 3 times and every time he said it, she went deeper into the ground. What about now? Do you accept me as your master now? Okay fine, I will accept you, human. Demonic sword control. Yes master, I will follow you and lick your feet as well. Yeah, that's right. Now that I have done what I wanted to do here. Shall I go back? I have been away from kingdom for too long. Master, it has been so long since I breathed some fresh air. This feels so refreshing that I am now awake. Hey, master. At least tell me your name. Cyan, it's Cyan Vert. Cyan? I have never heard of that name before. Did Eru really chose a kid like you? Yeah, he chose me in my past life. Past life? What the hell is he talking about? Just to let you know, I have died once before. What the hell? Is something like that even possible? This sword of light is still sleeping, what do you plan to do with it? This sword will have to wait for 20 years more for his owner. Kid, you talk like you know the future. He then raises his dagger and cuts the handle in one swing. Whoa! I never imagined that he would do something like that. What are you gonna do with this now? Who knows, maybe this slight change will make things more interesting in the future. In the next scene we see a carriage is moving away from the kingdom. The carriage then makes a stop at its destination, and from that carriage comes out Cyan. I can't believe the day has already come for my test. 1 month went by quickly. He then greets his father at the examination site. Cyan, I will ask you one last time. Are you determined to go to the battlefront? If you want to back out now, I won't stop you. Yes sir, my heart and soul belongs to the battlefront. Alright then, Yulkian, began the preparation for the test. Yes my majesty. He then takes the scroll in his hand. Oh, a magic scroll, are they summoning something? Chanting some magic onto the scroll, he summons a monster. A menacing werewolf with powerful aura is summoned. A hellhound? This is low-ranked demonic beast from the Lemia Valley. I guess, the knights and father must have had a hard time preparing this test. They are standing quite close to me. It seems like if anything goes wrong, they will come in to rescue my ass. You must be responsible for your every action. So prove how strong your resolve is by passing this trial and showing your skills. Yulkian thinks about this trial while clenching his sword. He remembers that young Cyan came to me asking for a duel. I was somewhat surprised. Yulkian, there's only 3 days left for my exam. You know, I can't just keep swinging my sword in the air, it doesn't make me any better. What I need right now is some real battle experience. Can you help me out with that? For someone of your age to have a duel with me, who is more aged and experienced, that seems a bit off. I don't have any other option. Every time my teacher sees me, he runs away. I think I almost gave him a near life-death experience, probably that's why he is so scared of me. Ah, what a mess. If you insist, young master, then I have no objection with the duel. Thank you, Yulkian. I will only fight you with my sword sheath. I will focus only on my defense, so you can attack me to your heart's content. Thanks again, Yulkian. Ah. I also have another favor to ask you. Whatever happens from this point on, you must not tell my father. This is an order. What happened to him? Is he alright? Cyan then dashes forward, attacking him with a great intensity. That hit, it was heavy. I can't believe that it was from the sword of a 10-year-old. Cyan then moves out in front of his eyes. He is quick as well. Where did he go? Oh my, when did he got behind me? Yulkian moves in the direction of the attack and blocks it just at the right moment. Before landing, Cyan delivers one more blow to him. After which he gets back to make another attack. As expected, Yulkian blocked his attack. Phew, I knew it. My strength is still not enough to win against you. You did a pretty good job, Yulkian. Thanks for helping me. You also did well, young master. I can't believe that young master Cyan has grown so much in a short period of time. If the hunch I had back then was right, then by now he would have grown so much stronger, that he can easily overcome any trial that awaits him. At the trial, the hellhound leaps into the air to attack Cyan. Here he comes. Thirsty for blood, he goes in for the attack, but is deflected by Cyan. With my current strength, fighting a monster is still too much. I have to end this battle ASAP. Yeah, that's right, I will finish him in one blow. He then gets ready for the next attack and slashes the hound's neck in one go. After which he leaps into air and deals another fatal blow on his head by throwing his sword. Everyone present there is stunned by such a domination of power, and that too, by a 10-year-old. Haha, my boy, he did it. This feels like a waste. This much blood could fill a few bottles. If I tried to do something like that here, they would think me as a crazy person. Impressive, Cyan, impressive. You have passed the trial, I am looking forward to see you at the battlefront. Thank you, father, I feel honored. Master, do I look like a kitchen knife to you? Of course not, you are a demonic sword. But why would you say that to me? Then, god damn it, use me, you know I need blood to gain strength. At least let me have only one gulp of blood, it looks so delicious. Don't worry, Kiram, because soon enough, you will be able to drink blood to your heart's content. Then why did you call me out now? I was having such a good dream. At the battlefield, we see an ogre is charging up for an attack. Ring the bell, an ogre has invaded our land. Everyone set up a line of defense and take it out right away. No monster should be left alive. They all began chanting a spell to restrain the monster, a huge symbol flashes in front of all the monsters, and all of them are chained to the ground. Everyone charge forward. Don't let any one of them escape. Yes, your majesty, we will slay every single one of them. We will put our lives to protect our kingdom. An ogre roars, trying his best to break through magical chains. But the knight comes in and chops his head off. On witnessing cold-blooded war, Emily screams like a child while Cyan just stares at the lifeless corpse expressionless, as if killing is his daily routine. Young master. Why did you came to a place like this? Aren't you scared of this place? Scared, huh? This place gives me nostalgia. This place is hell just as usual. Cyan, how does it feel to be in the front lines? I hope you aren't afraid, my poor boy. I am fine, sir, I am just a bit nervous. My child, as you can see, death awaits every corner here, so you must not let your guard down. Yes, father, I will keep that in mind. In this place there are usually 3 to 4 battles in a day, and every battle is detailed afterwards. The Army's corps is made up of advanced knights who fight on the front lines. There are always a dozen of knights patrolling this area. The tent I am assigned to in this place is the rearmost area, where it's the safest. The guards here are very strict, they won't give me a chance to feed Kiram. I think I will have to wait till dinner time. Hey, Emily, what are you doing? I am so scared. Didn't the Duke told us that we won't know when and where we would die? Then why don't you pack your bag and return home? Do you think I can? If I leave this place, then you will not be able to do anything without me. Who do you think? Who will take care of you, master, in this place? Tell me. I can't stand this place, I am going for dinner. Emily, at least give me the cape that I requested. She just left without hearing a word from me. This Emily, should I just chase her away? Is this the way she treats her master? I think this will be good enough. Nobody will suspect me of leaving this place, they will see me as a sleeping Cyan. Master, are you planning to go out for an exercise, even in this place? Yeah, I am sorry that I disturbed your sleep. Master, you are very diligent. The Duke would be proud of you if he finds out that you are working your ass. Thank you, Emily, I am going now. So please take care of things as usual when I am away. Pretend that I am still asleep. Okay, master. During the nighttime, the guard duties are more strengthened. So if I don't move at this time, it will be difficult for me later on. Using his special technique from previous life, he descends from the top of the cliff and lands without an injury. If I remember correctly, there should be a lot of monsters in this place. This place is perfect to use Kiram. What do you think about this, Kiram? Master, what's this? I sense strong scent of blood. Master, I don't think I can hold back. Quickly, let me cut some of these monster organs. All right, Kiram, we will do as you please. He then rushes to kill the pack of hellhounds. Rushing storm. In one single move, he was able to cut down 3 hellhounds. After defeating all the hellhounds in the area, he stabs a wooden pipe into the dead creature, and from that comes out fresh and juicy blood, which he drinks very happily. Oh yeah, this is the best drink. Master, this is the first time I am feeling so refreshed after waking up. Good, we will keep training like this. Master, what do you think how much time it will take for us to get stronger by killing these useless hellhounds? Don't worry, Kiram, we have whole night to play with these creatures and there are plenty of them. Master, I am getting so excited, let's do this. We see at some other place, 2 carriages are being guarded by knights around them. In one of the carriage, a beautiful figure like princess is sitting. Miss, I still think frontline is too dangerous for you. Why don't we turn back? Stop treating me like a child. I am the royal princess of the empire. How many times do I have to tell you that it's my duty to assist father in his tours? I really get mad with you whenever you mention the idea of retreating again. I am sorry, princess. Oh, by the way, miss, have you heard of the news? The youngest son of the Vert family is on the front lines. What? That Duke Vert brought his youngest son to battlefront. You know the interesting part of it, the Duke didn't want to bring him to battlefield, but that kid volunteered himself. He should be the same age as you, so you should try to get along. She shyly says that she doesn't care about trivial things. Forget about it, I am going to get some sleep. Understood, princess. By the way, what's his name? Oh, it's Cyan. I am pretty sure he is called Cyan Vert. Cyan, I see. I will be looking forward to meeting you, Cyan. At the battlefront, monsters are being killed by the knights. Is everyone alright? Yes, sir, everyone is okay. That's great, let's go back. We are done here. He then catches a glimpse of his son. He is stabbing the monster again to make his kill confirmed. Finally, all of this is over. My son, how are you adjusting your life on the front lines? I am learning something new every day, father. Is that so? Then I am very proud of you, my son, you are enduring this harsh place quite well. Whoa! I have never heard a compliment from my father ever. I have something to talk to you about tomorrow, so come to my tent in the morning. I have never seen father to be so kind before. Now while in middle of night, a monster attacks Cyan and he dodges it just in time. I didn't expect to see a deathworm here. They usually appear deeper into the valley. Master, it seems like you are struggling, why don't you let me handle this one? Do you think I am not aware of the schemes that you are plotting? No, master, it is not like that, I will only take control for a few moments, and then allow you take over once the monster is defeated. Look at the cuts you made at the monster, master. This creature immediately heals any shallow injuries. It won't be of any use to keep attacking him like this. She is right, at this rate this battle will continue to go on forever. It has already been a month since I have come to the front lines. I have drunk blood of countless demonic beasts, but that doesn't satisfy my hunger. Well, I guess I have no other choice. Kiram, take control. Yay! Let's go, Wild Master. Special sword manifestation. I will rip that thick skin of yours into pieces. Unable to bear the pain, Deathworm shrieks in agony. After which Cyan goes in for another attack. Fog Sword, 8 fluttering petals. He makes 8 consecutive slashes and the monster is split into many pieces and dies away. Haha, this much power, it feels good. A few moments after, the guards are inspecting the dead creatures that were killed by Cyan. These monsters have been killed recently. The mana also seems quite imposing. Could this be a work of demon? We can't overlook this if a demon was involved. Inspect the area and burn the corpses immediately. These sword traces look somewhat familiar. I have seen them somewhere before. Sir, I think you need to see this. What is it, Yulkian? Look at that beauty, master. It's a deathworm, but who could have slain him like this? Could it be the work of that organization? Demonic sword manifestation lets Kiram to take over my body, so that she can use her true powers. But she can completely take over me if I let my guard down even for a moment. Which is why using her to take that monster was actually insane. It's a good thing that I drank all that demonic beast blood in the past month. My whole body is aching very much. If I tried to do something like this a month before, my body would have collapsed from the burden. Master, I understand it all now. It's just your outer appearance is that of a kid, but you don't act or talk like one. The level at which you handle me is too proficient for a first-timer. You also know the entire geography of the Lemia Valley too. You use mist sword techniques, and when you use it, it feels like you have trained them for at least 30 years. Also, earlier you said that you have died once. So I am quite certain now, that you are Regressor. Didn't I told you already that I have died once? Isn't that obvious? Hey, how can I believe you when you haven't explained any shit to me? Oh, about that. I am just too lazy to explain all of it. Anyway, killing someone like you must have been hard. If I had to guess, you were killed by the owner of Duran Dark. So that means that you were either killed in a duel or betrayed. I am 100% sure that you were betrayed by someone. Why would you think that? Because when you looked at the holy sword back then, I could see anger within you. So your goal must be to take revenge. Either way, keep this in mind. If I catch you faltering or losing, I will consume that body of yours. Get lost, know your place, Kiram. I am not an idiot. Sorry, master. After all those years, she hasn't changed at all. She's the same as she was in my previous life. When Cyan comes out of his tent in the next morning, he sees a huge commotion going on outside. Today, everything seems to be a bit chaotic. Young master, you are finally up. Yeah, Emily, did something happen? Yes, a high-level monster's corpse was found near the entrance of the valley. Is she talking about the deathworm that I killed? It has been so long since there was a sighting of high-level monster near the camps. Is there any other news? Like sightings of a suspicious person or something about me? Young master, Cyan. The Duke wants to see you right away. This is a pain. Yesterday I wasn't able to take care of the corpses of the monsters because the soldiers suddenly appeared out of nowhere. My plan was to enjoy a quiet life before entering the academy. At the father's tent, Cyan greets his father. I hope that father won't notice that it was me who did all of this. Have a seat, boy. If he asks me about the yesterday's incident, what kind of excuse will I have to make? I will be direct with you, son. What were you doing last night? I went to bed early as I was tired. Did he really went to bed early? Those sword traces that I found on the monsters were similar to Cyan's sword technique. Am I overthinking on this one? What happened to you, father? It's hard to believe that a child this young could have slain a monster like Deathworm. Father, is something bothering you? I am sure that you have heard about what happened near the camp last night. We will have to look into that incident more. So far it seems to be the doing of the organization called Mist. Mist? Yes, son, it's an organization that has existed since the ancient times. We do not know their goals, but they have assassinated countless nobles under the excuse of purification. They are infamous for leaving behind a black fog wherever they are. But one day, they disappeared. They were last seen 300 years ago. But the corpse of the deathworm from the last night was covered with the same black fog. That fog is the trace left behind by Eru, who is the god of darkness. Mist organization devoted their whole life to following him. If my assumption are correct, it was Mist that slayed the worm and other demonic beasts. My father is amazing, he was able to pinpoint who the culprit was, despite the fact that Mist organization was last seen 3 centuries ago. We can't guess the reason for their sudden appearance, but you should be more careful. I will notify this in the Empire and investigate further. I hope that he believes my fabricated story. It doesn't make sense for Cyan to be involved with such an organization, he is very young for that. Anyway, were you told who's visiting us today? I did hear that Majesty will be visiting, but was it supposed to be today? Yes, and I want to ask you for a favor regarding that. What? A favor from me? Soon enough, the guards blow the horn to make the entry of His Majesty audible to everyone. I, Lord of Velias, greet the Honorable Emperor, His Majesty. Ah, Viliard. He then steps down from his horse and approaches him. We are old pals, so there is no need to be so polite. Oh, is it your child? I greet the Honorable Emperor, His Majesty. I am Cyan Vert, youngest of the Verts. For a boy this young to be residing in such a rough environment, your children are definitely different from ordinary ones. I was thinking what kind of favor my father would be asking, but he just wanted me to introduce myself to Emperor as his loyal son. I was always forced to stay inside the mansion in the past life when the Emperor visited. I am so touched by father's trust. Very good, I also want to introduce you all to someone as well. After which a girl leaves the carriage. She introduces herself as the fifth princess of the Ushif Empire, Aaron Severus. Oh, so it's Aaron Severus, the tragic fifth princess. Back in the tent, my father said that I will have to escort her like gentlemen for a day. But how can I do that, father? There is no need to be so surprised, you just need to keep her company, that's all. She is same age as you will see her once you enter the academy too. I do remember seeing her in the academy in my past life, but only a few times between classes. Son, there is no harm in becoming acquainted with someone of the royal family. I just want you to get along with her well. I am not in mood for this shit. But from father's perspective it is completely okay. He probably wishes that we would develop a friendship like he has with the emperor. But he has picked the wrong person for that. She can't become my friend. Although they don't know it, because those events will only happen in future. It's annoying to be with her. But orders are orders, I will have to follow them obediently. Aaron then asks Cyan a question. Why is that river so red? Ah, do you mean the Blood River? It's a stream that runs through the entirety of the Lemia Valley. There isn't any rocket science as to why the water is red. The demonic beasts who are old or injured and can no longer compete with others for survival, they will jump into this blood river. The demonic beasts' corpses and bodily fluid will then melt in the river, thus turning it red from the decomposition of mana. So is all of that demonic beasts' bodily fluid and corpses. Yes, they also drink and wash in it. It's very disgusting, so don't go in it. Gross, and what's at the end of river? The demon realm. Demon realm? Do demons live there? Yes, if you keep following this river you will even meet the Demon King. Although no sane person would do that. It's so amusing to make fun of her. All of them suddenly looks up in the sky. What's that light? It's the 3rd sentry post in the west. A yellow light signifies the incoming of demonic beasts. There are demonic beasts here. Guards protect the Majesty. Night Division troops come along with me to 3rd sentry post in the west. Don't be like that, Villiers, my friend. Your Majesty? You think I am here on a vacation? I have started to get bored anyway, so this will amuse me a little bit. Alright, as you say, Majesty. We will join the demonic beast raid. Everyone should focus on killing the demonic beasts until the raid is over. Yes, Your Majesty. Come along with us, Cyan. Yes, Father. Whoa! You can fight the demonic beasts. Yes, although I am still just supporting from the back. By the way, you should get to the shelter, it will be safe for you there. No, take me with you. Why is she acting like a child wanting a candy from its parents? Cyan, I am same age as you so I can come along with you too. People die here, it's not a playground, you should understand this. I don't care, I am going and no one can stop me. Yulkian. Yes, young master, don't worry about her, I, Yulkian, the commander of the knights will escort the highness to safety in the camps. Let's go, your highness. How dare you treat me like a child, I am bold enough to enter the battlefield. I will only say this once, so get this clear. A dozen of knight might die because of your stubbornness. A split-second decision can decide your life and death in the battlefront. Can you take the responsibility for all those lost lives? Hit with some cold and hard words, tears began forming in her eyes. Go back if you are gonna cry like a child, your highness. At the battlefront, a slime-like monster is devouring humans left and right. Soldiers don't fall back. Quickly get back into formation. Protect the Majesty and slay all the monsters. Don't spare even a single of them. After some motivating speech, knights began to push forward against the monster's attack. Cyan Vert explains to us about His Majesty, Dion Severus. He is the emperor of the Ushif Empire and had 2 wives. Sadly, the first wife is dead, but he still has second wife who take cares of the empire's finance. The dead empress gave birth to first and second princess and the second empress gave birth to the third and fourth prince. However, Erin was born to some peasant mistress, and that's why people considered her of low quality among nobles. But she didn't care about what others thought. In my past life I remember, she fulfilled her duty as a part of royal family and devoted herself to studies more than anyone else. However, his older siblings framed her for treason and soon enough she was kicked out of the royal family and the empire. Rumors were that she died alone from a disease on an island, that's why she is called the tragic princess. It would have been better if she lived like a commoner instead, without any ambition just like other losers of the city. This story sounds too familiar, isn't that how he was treated by his father in his previous life? No, it's different. Noble line blood runs through my veins, while the tragic princess had impure blood, so there is a difference how we were treated. At the battlefront, monsters are getting electrocuted left and right. Man, His Majesty is sure overpowered as hell. His Majesty plunges his sword onto the ground and asks God of Thunder, Thor, to summon lightning strikes on these lowly creatures. Dealing with these monsters is nothing for His Majesty, after all he is rated 8 stars in magic rank. If he hadn't been the emperor then probably he would have become Mage Association head. I believe being an emperor is his part-time job. After finishing the battle, both men have some refreshments. It's been a while since I shared a drink with you, pal. However, I feel quite lonesome that I am the only one calling the shots here. I am sorry, Majesty, I don't drink when I am on the front lines. Anyway, you asked me about the current atmosphere in the empire. Quite recently, there has been a spike in the assassination of nobles and it's causing a lot of anxiety among people. Do you think that there are any patterns in these murders? Yes, so far all the nobles that were assassinated are the corrupt officials. To put a cherry on top, Black Fog was present at all of the murder scenes. Do you have any suspects on your mind, Villiers? Not any right now, but I did find traces of them here yesterday. It seems like Black Fog followers have been on the move again. That makes sense, but you will need to look into it more. I appreciate that you are taking care of the garbage, but I can't just sit with my hands folded. It's a matter of concern, and people are growing paranoid day by day. Villiers, there is something else that concerns me. What could it be, Your Majesty? Some shitty noble was blabbering that it's Erin's fault that all the nobles are getting killed. You mean some people are trying to frame Princess Erin? I have been suppressing those people by power, but it seems that there is a group of malicious nobles who wants to exploit her for their gain. I want to ask you for a favor as a friend, not as an emperor. If I end up dying before you, please take care of her. Don't worry, Majesty, I will carry out your orders to my last breath. Thank you, Villiers. At Cyan's tent, Emily is discussing about the monster's attack that happened recently. Young master, she's the princess, how can you just end the escort when monsters shows up? You are never gonna get married at this rate. Why is Emily thinking that I was on a date with her? Anyway, I will trust you to take care of things while I am gone. Are you going for training again, master? It's raining cats and dogs outside. You don't have to worry about that, Emily, and don't wait for me either. On seeing someone appearing suddenly, Emily screams, Ghost, ghost. It's Erin. She asks Cyan about where is he heading to. I am sorry to interrupt your peace, but can we talk if you are not busy? Wow. It's Your Highness. While Erin is inside, the guards stand outside in the rain. Cyan, how long has it been since you got here? Probably a month or so, and why did you come to see me? It's just that. Can you excuse us for a bit, you keep staring at us. Yeah, go outside for a bit, Emily. Okie dokie, I hope wonderful things happen between you two while I am gone away. I hope she is not eavesdropping on our conversation, and why does she think about having wonderful things? I am too old for this stuff. Erin with a blushing face apologizes for being such a nuisance earlier. I should have acted more like a princess back then. You don't have to worry about that. I also apologize for being rude. No, it's alright, I would have said the same thing as you. Here, you are acknowledged by a lot of people and you are a lot more mature. It makes sense for me to be mature because I am actually 40 years old. You are entering the academy too, right? Then shouldn't we become friends? With absolute coldness in his heart, our MC replies that there is no need for that. I won't be of any help of yours. Hearing such words, Erin's emotions take a roller coaster ride. Princess, if you are here to make friends, then please leave. I just wanted us to be on good terms, but you are so harsh. Do you also think that I am just a shell of a princess? She took my words way too seriously. I understand now, I guess there is no benefit in being friends with me. Sorry for wasting your precious time. I guess I was just short-sighted, I thought maybe we could at least talk. You are a completely different person from Sir Askell. Askell? What did you just say? He then tightly grabs her hand. Hey, what's wrong with you, Cyan? Let me go. Askell, how could you know my brother? I got in touch with him when I was touring the Royal Academy last year. He advised me not to care about other people's taunts and I should just fulfill my role as a princess. That damn bastard gave her advice. Behind his innocent face lies a demonic monster. I know his personality better than anyone. I can't imagine that his plan to bring down the princess has already began. Let me warn you, princess. Before Cyan can say anything further, their conversation is interrupted midway by a sudden noise. What's that? Emily comes rushing inside the tent, shouting at him to run. Before they could get a chance to grasp the situation, a huge boulder comes knocking down on them. A troll just smashed their tent into pieces. Oh shit, that's the young master's tent. Everyone hurry, check if the young master is okay. Emily starts shedding tears, calling out his young master. The news soon reaches the higher-ups and on hearing the unpleasant news, their faces turn pale. Sir, an advanced-ranked demonic beast ambushed the rear camps of the border regions. I think Princess Erin was there too. Princess Erin? Order everyone of the Imperial Army to the rear camps immediately. We have to ensure the safety of the princess at all costs. As you say, Majesty. Why was she in the rear camps? Whom was she going to see? Back at the rear camps, Cyan survives the attack because, you know, he is our MC after all. He has strong plot armor. There are deathworms and trolls too. They should only reside in the deeper regions of the valley. But for them to be here in the rear camps, something must have changed. Could I be the reason for all of this? While Cyan is in some deep thinking, Emily calls out to him. Master, I thought you were really dead. I will never leave your side. We see at the moment of impact, Cyan dodges the incoming attack and saved Princess from her doom as well. Back in my day, I even killed the Demon King. To think that I would die to a mere troll is something that could never happen. Do you think the knights in the camps are okay? Don't worry, Your Highness, the knights are really strong. All of this happened because I came here. The knights that came with me are dead. Don't worry about us, Highness, it's our duty to protect you as the knights of the Empire. Yeah, that's right, Your Highness, we will protect you with our lives. Hey you, move out of that place. Sorry, but what did you say? The knight who was pretending to be MC a moment ago is caught by a troll. He then lifts him up, preparing to feast on him eagerly. Everyone get back. Unsatisfied with the knight's blood, he tosses him out in the air. I knew it, it's me that he wants. I will distract the troll, so get away with Princess. Okay, young master. That Emily, I thought she would at least shed some tears on my plan, but to think that she would run away like a coward is irritating me. The troll then charges for an attack. Grabbing the perfect opportunity, Cyan slashes at the troll's hand. Why are the advanced-ranked demonic beasts attracted to me? I feel like they are smelling something on me. Don't you think it is obvious, Master? You drank the blood of countless demonic beasts in order to become strong. That's why you smell the same shit as they are. What? You knew about all of this, then why didn't you tell me before? Did you forget? Creating problems for you is my job. I don't care about what you do, I want to possess that body of yours. Come here, Kiram, you need to be disciplined now. What are you going to do now? At least treat me a little better. Shut up, you are my slave, I treat you the way I want. It doesn't matter how many monsters come at me, I will slay every single one of them. He then dashes forward, and monsters also attacks with his fist, but his hands are cut down by Cyan's demonic blade. Soon enough he beheads the troll. Now that no one's watching, we will go on a killing spree and drink all of the advanced-ranked demonic beast blood. Tonight we will have a huge feast. Wait a second, what's that? Is that a dragon? Oh yeah, that's a devil dragon. The dragon then roars in the sky. Master, it's a baby dragon, I guess he also smelled the same shit as other trolls. It doesn't matter why the dragon is here, what matters is that I catch that thing. Demonic sword manifestation, now we will feast on that beautiful creature. On the other side, a troll is being killed by piercing arrows. Well, this seems like the last one of them for now. Villiers, what about the princess and your son? I can't find their traces past the tent. It's okay, I am sure you are worried about your son as well. There is no need to worry about him, what matters right now is the princess. Man, you are too cold. Is he really your son or not? A Vert family member should know how to watch out for himself. Your Majesty, we have found the Highness. Daddy. Erin, my child. Are you hurt anywhere? I am okay, father, but please save him. Save who, my child? Cyan. Okay, calm down and tell me what's going on. Aren't you the Cyan's maid? Yes, your Majesty. Then tell me, has something happened to Cyan? I am so scared, the Duke looks are so scary than before. With a stammering voice she replies, Sir, the young master acted as bait in order to give us time to run away. The knight replies that I remember where he was last time. If you give me an order, then I will go with others to save the young master. What are you waiting for, Villiers? Come on, hurry, your son must be in some trouble. No, we are not doing that. What? Villiers, are you serious? We must take care of the situation here first. If these camps fall, the demonic beasts will invade the empire. We must reconstruct the place right away, and that is the only way to prevent more deaths. Then what about the young master? He has done his duty by helping the princess evacuate. This is what it's like to be a vert, to sacrifice oneself for the greater good for the kingdom. No, this can't be, because of me someone has to die again. All of them are momentarily stunned when they hear some huge sound. That sound, it's of a dragon. And what's that? Why is Cyan hanging onto the dragon feet like a child clinging to his mother's cloth? He seems to be very terrified. Dragons are the creatures that are the closest to the creator, and they are very rare and noble. That's why inferior beings like humans dare not to easily approach them. And here I was clinging to the dragon's leg. It's an honor to be able to come across such a high and mighty creature, but why does this stupid dragon has to fly over the very people I wish they would never see me in such a state? Aaron, the princess looks at the dragon and shouts out Cyan's name with tears still filled in her eyes. The Majesty is surprised as much as Cyan's father is. How can a dragon come to such a place, and why is your son on top of the dragon? Why are you just standing there like a statue? Do something to save your child. While Cyan's father is very surprised, Cyan is cursing his fate. All I wanted to do was drink his tasty blood, but I never imagined to be stuck in this tricky situation. Back to the moment of what really happened when Cyan encountered the devil dragon. That dragon looks tasty as hell. I will eat that thing piece by piece, and these low-quality monsters are in my way. I don't have time to waste on these pieces of trash. Using his demonic sword technique Rushing Fog Storm, he chops every single monster into multiple pieces and he lands on the ground. The dragon breathes out some smoke from his mouth and Cyan examines the dragon. This dragon is not a fully grown one, as its size speaks for itself. The dragon then charges for its attack and Cyan is amazed by its shining brightness. The attack, which is much bigger than Cyan itself, approaches rapidly towards him. It was so powerful that it obliterated the rock behind him. This dragon is now getting on my nerves. How dare you spit in my face on our first meeting? If this is how you greet people, then you can taste my sword to the face. Cyan's attack hits directly onto the dragon's face and it makes a deep cut in his eyes. The pain was so immense that dragon lets out a wild roar. He then tries its best to create distance between himself and the human. While Cyan is left motionless in the air. The dragon tries to use this opportunity to kill him and proceeds to attack the falling Cyan. Don't think that if I am in air, then I can't do anything. He uses his swordless technique to evade the incoming attack and then strikes the dragon with his 8 fluttering petal sword technique, making 8 consecutive slashes. After receiving fatal damage, the dragon collapses on the ground. Well, I guess I can't take on a dragon yet, my shoulders are getting a bit sore. It's time to wrap things up. The dragon then flies into the air, creating a little dust storm. This dragon is going for the same attack. Does he take me for a fool? I won't fall for the same trick twice. It's not coming towards me. Shit, that crazy lizard is running from me. I can't let this wonderful opportunity slip past my hand. He then leaps into the air in an attempt to catch the dragon. I think I used up all of my luck to meet this dragon and now I am hanging by its leg. Well then, how should I take care of this situation? Hey master, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing anything? What do you mean I am not doing anything? Can't you see all those people below us? Master, if you let me free, then I will deal with this situation easily. Have you gone nuts? Do you want me to use demonic sword while all those people are watching, huh? I will be burned alive immediately if they see that. Then what? Are you just gonna stay on this dragon for your whole life? Shut up, I am still thinking about what should I do right now. Down at the ground, Cyan's father began creating a magical spell with his holy sword. Shit. That's advanced 8-star magic that my father is using. He is going to use the secret sword of the heavens, and if he uses that, I will be wiped out from the earth along with this dragon. Oh no, here it comes. He is really living up to his title of the continent's guardian. The swords come flying from all the direction towards the dragon and he evades the attacks perfectly. On seeing this, Cyan becomes very happy and praises the dragon's abilities to dodge. If this dragon keeps avoiding the attacks like this, then I will be able to feast on his blood. This sword is coming faster than others. I don't think he will be able to dodge this one. Just as Cyan expected, the sword hits the dragon, and Cyan is knocked off the dragon's leg. Damn it, I can't believe I missed the opportunity for such a special meal. Hey idiot, what are you doing? Why don't you use the mist sword technique and fly back again to the dragon? At this rate you are gonna kiss that dirty ground. You know I can't use mist sword technique, otherwise, I will be burnt alive by the people standing below. Great, then do you plan to let yourself die then? Maybe, I don't know, my mind has just stopped working now. A sudden idea strikes his mind. Wait, I think there is a way for me to save myself. Master, are you really gonna fall in there, in that shit-infested water? What other choice do I have if I can't use my mist sword technique? Cyan then falls into the lake filled with monsters' excreta. On some other side a person is thinking about something, and suddenly he sees a devil dragon flying in the air. He comments that it is quite a rare sight to see. This person's butler remarks that the dragon you saw is a young one. It seems like he lost his way and was caught up with a few problems. The person inquires if there are some strong demonic beasts over that place. His butler replies, no sir, it's humans who live across that border. Humans, really? That's not possible, then how can a dragon lost to these mere humans? Both of them are questioning their own sanity now. Sir, is something bothering you? I can feel a very odd energy from over there, it's a bit strange but also familiar. Sir, if you are that concerned, then you can go and check it out yourself. However, please refrain from killing everything you see just because you are bored. Alright, I won't cause any trouble. Saying this he flies into the sky using his majestic wings. On the other side Cyan falls into the red lake and emerges out of it, trying to gasp some air. Slowly he crawls his way out of that disgusting lake and sits on the ground, taking support from the rock. This lake was much worse than I thought it to be. Damn my life, why do I have to be the one who has to suffer so much? Hey Kiram, are you alive? Don't even talk to me, I am trying to decide how should I kill you right now. We will clean up once we go back, so don't be mad about it. Oh, so you are gonna go back? Don't you get it, this is the demon realm. Higher level monster dwells in this place. Ah, don't worry about that, there's no way we would come across a higher level demon. A person comes at the place where Cyanvert is, and exclaims. Haha, I knew it that something fun would be waiting for me here. This voice, I remember it clearly. It is embedded in my brain so deeply that I can't forget it no matter what. Answer me, are you a human? This person is the Demon King, Valkyrion. In my past life all those who witnessed him said that it felt like looking at the god of evil itself. This person slayed countless people of the Empire and he is currently standing in front of me. Shit, this is bad, what should I do now? Hey kid, I asked if you are human or not, aren't you going to answer me? Or perhaps do you want to fight me? The Demon King comes behind Cyan and when Cyan looks back to attack, he has already moved out of that place. That sword seems somewhat familiar. I see you are the kind of person with infinite potential, I think those rumors were true. Master, this seems the wrong time to use me, but who is that person? It's the Demon King. What? The Demon King? How the hell are you going to defeat him in the state you are in right now? It's impossible to defeat him even in my dreams. I can only try running away, but I am not quite certain of myself. I don't think I would be able to make it out alive from here. Just calm down, kid. I won't do any harm to a little kid like you, you can calm down now. Look, I am not really going to do anything to you. Even if people call me a complete idiot, I won't fight kids unnecessarily, it goes against my rules. What the hell, why is the Demon Lord suddenly lying down on the ground? Let me ask my question once again, are you a human? Yes I am, and how did you get here? Instead of answering, the Demon King asks him another question. So boy, is this your first time in the demon realm? Your aura is a bit strange, you know. Who are you? Me, I am just a normal human. A normal human, but it feels like you know me. Sorry Demon King, but we have never met before, you are probably making a mistake here. I guess what you are saying is true, after all I have never seen a human before either, then how could you have seen me? He seems too relaxed for a Demon King, is he really him? Tell me Mr. Demon King, why are you here then? Oh, it's nothing, I felt a strange energy while I was making my rounds so I came to check it. You take rounds? Yes, as the Demon King it's given that I have to watch over the lands I rule. Hey kid, did you heard what I just said? Yes, it's given that you have to watch over the lands you rule as Demon King. So why aren't you shocked on hearing this? I knew it from the start, you know me from somewhere. What kind of kid in the world would react like you did when they encounter me? Has your mom never threatened you by saying that the Demon King will take you away if you are not a good boy? Cyan keeps thinking to himself, is this the same person he knew from the past life? If things go like in my past then the demon invasions should start soon. But this guy doesn't seem like someone who would do that. If this is his true self, then what could have triggered him to make a change in his personality? Cyan asks him a question, if you are a Demon King what is it that you wish to accomplish? Asking the Demon King such a silly question, you sure are a very bold kid. There is nothing much I want to accomplish, all I want is to have my people live good lives and eat well. Though if anyone dares to get in the way, then I will kill them all. That is my duty as the Demon King. Just for a moment I definitely felt the true monstrosity of the Valkyrion I knew in my past life. It's repressed right now, but some incident must have removed the chains on that side of him. I need to prevent that incident from happening. Demon King, do you want to make a deal? Something will happen to you soon and that thing will threaten the survival of your very own people that you rule. What are you talking about, kid? It doesn't make sense. I don't know exactly what the incident is, but I am certain that that incident will trigger a great war between the humans and the demons. You mean I am going to want to take your lands? Yes, that's why I want to negotiate with you. Promise me that you won't start a war no matter what happens. You are making no sense to me. Alright, let's just say that I don't start a war. So then what will you give me in return? I will give you my help. No matter what happens to you, I will do whatever I can to help you. The Demon King comes closer to Cyanvert and thinks deeply about the proposal. Kid, it seems like you know something will happen in the future. It's quite interesting to meet you. What's your name, boy? It's Cyanvert. Alright, Cyanvert, I promise you as the owner of the demon realm that I will not invade that land of yours no matter what happens. But you better take responsibility for your own promise too. A deal is a deal after all. Cyan looks a bit nervously on the departing Demon King. Alright then, this completes our deal here. A few moments later, the guards of the Empire comes in search of young Master Cyan. Hey look, young Master is lying down there. This is a miracle that he survived. The inspection team found me conveniently lying by the end of Seaside and I was able to get back safely. After that incident I earned the nickname the boy who survived the Devil Dragon. After that I was brought to a building that was being used as a military hospital for the time being. While Cyan is recovering there, the fifth princess comes to visit him. With a very nervous face she says, if you will you marry me, Cyan? Wait, what the hell is she saying? No, I won't marry you. The princess is a bit taken aback by his cold remark. Oh yeah, of course, I am just a powerless princess. She is really getting on my nerves lately. I knew she was powerless, but her attitude makes her even worse. It's obvious what's gonna happen next. She will die a very tragic death. I can't stop thinking about the fact that my big bro Askel is involved in her death. Cyan then gives some advice to Aaron. You are right, you can't bring any benefit to me or to anyone else with your current state. You don't have any influence or even any professionalism. It would actually be bad for me if I were to be close to you. These words hits Aaron's heart and mind. However, I will watch you from afar until you have developed into a somewhat better person. You are just going to watch me. Yes, don't be disappointed about it. I will also give you some advice along the way. Alright, I get what you mean. I will just have to improve enough so that you will acknowledge me. She then points her finger towards Cyan and says, just you wait and see. I will become so strong that you won't be able to ignore me, and after that you will be mine, Cyan. Okay, I will be looking forward to that, except the part about marrying you. There is one more thing that I have to say. Thanks for being alive, Cyan. She cheered up really fast, after all she is just a kid. Now at the rear camps in the outskirts of the forest, a person is walking alone in there. He hides behind a tree and looks left and right to make sure no one is following him. After that he takes out a shiny artifact from his court. He becomes very happy on seeing such a precious item in his dirty hands. A voice from behind calls out his name. Shit, my body won't move, it's as if some invisible chains are tying me down. A small dimension box, I guess it's about to be put up for an auction. This is an artifact imbued with a dimensional realm and with enough mana, one can store infinitely many things in it. This is the masterpiece of the Garum Kingdom's Mage Association, isn't it? I have been keeping an eye on it for a whole year. I felt like someone within the Empire was smuggling them, so that's why I wasn't able to find it anywhere. So this is what you guys are up to. Anyway, I am going to gladly take this free of cost from you, Reynald Crimson, the 7-star Mage Knight from the Garum Kingdom. His eyes becomes wide on seeing that the person who is taking his artifact is Cyanvert. Hey, what are you doing here, kid? Cyan casually empties the artifact and finds the remains of demons. I assume you extracted the blood of the demonic beast corpses and brought them over in supply carriages that are allowed over the border. I can also deduce that there is a spy helping you in the supply department too. What are you talking about? I don't know anything about that. Stop playing dumb, loser. The demonic beast blood is already sold on the black market. I assume my sister was able to get the hellhound blood through this person. Cyan thinks about who is the person that is betraying the Empire. Also, there is one more thing to take care about. I can't let this person live as he knows my identity now. I don't know how this kid managed to capture me, but I can move my body a bit now. Taking his opportunity, he uses his breath fire technique to launch an attack on Cyan. Haha, this is the consequence of letting your guard down, kid. Go ahead and die a pathetic death. He then attacks him with fire and burns everything in front of him. I thought I was going to be dead soon. The rumors about him were true after all. Phew, it's finally over. Though I lost the precious dimension box, but I was able to save my life, and that is what matters most. I never expected this kind of thing to happen in the midst of transport. While he was relaxing for a bit, Cyan chops off his hand and he cries in a lot of pain. Huh, what's this? Is this black fog? Could it be that he belongs from the Mist organization? Before he could say anything further, Cyan pins him to the tree and asks him a question. I will give you two choice. You can either tell me about the smuggling route and the spy, and then die a comfortable death, or you can suffer a death so tragic that even God would pray for you. Now at the Velia's western border trading post. A lot of trading is currently going on this place. People are moving boxes from one place to another. Look at these potions, man. We got 2 boxes of these potion this time. Yeah, we will be able to make much better profit now. I wonder how much is in this box. The moment they open the box, their eyes widens and mouth stretches in horror. This is Sir Renaud's head. What's it doing in here? Who could have done something so terrible to him? Both of the person are very distressed, and Cyan watches the scene from far. Are you not gonna do anything about those guys? I assume that this warning is enough for them not to do such things in future. Even if they do, I will kill them. Garum Kingdom's 7-star knight, Renaud Crimson, has been smuggling the blood of demonic beasts from the front lines behind the Ushif Empire's back. The item he smuggled were taken to the Garum Kingdom's Mage Association. That Mage Association is a place where all the mages who are insanely obsessed with magic gather there. They study the origin and foundation of magic as well as the art of creating new magic. They are an association that aspires to surpass the limits of humanity. Currently, they are making useful artifacts like the Dimension Box, but in the future they will do all kinds of insane stuff with demonic beast blood. I need to put a stop to it now. Master, I thought you were gonna live for yourself. Isn't this a pretty selfless thing to do? I just don't want any more people using the demonic beast blood. I want it all for myself. Now at the residence of Ushif Empire. A person looks outside the window. It's Cyan's big bro, Askell. He reads that Cyan went to frontlines with father. A lady in his room replies, "Oh Cyan Vert, isn't he your half-brother?" "Yes he is, and for quite some time he has been getting on my nerves. I will have to go and see him." Coming back from the front lines, Emily puts down the heavy suitcases. Finally we are out of that hell. I am so excited. I bet the academy will be incomparable to this gloomy place. While Emily is very happy, Cyan's mood is quite opposite of that. Cyan thinks that this is the beginning of hell. The academy isn't the kind of place Emily is expecting. In reality it's a place filled with politics and schemes. Envy and jealousy is found in every corner of this place, and networking is prioritized over education. I heard there are lots of handsome instructors as well. I am so excited to see them. I think I would be able to find my perfect husband in that place. Is Emily really coming to the academy for me or to find a husband? Later on, Cyan exits his carriage and he touches some ground. He walks while inspecting the surrounding area. He then catches glimpse of someone. It's his half-brother Krantz, who was defeated by Cyan in a duel very badly. "Hello Krantz, how are things going?" "What? Why are you running away?" "I didn't even do anything this time." "Master, who is that idiot?" "Ah, don't worry about him, he is my half-brother. I think he got some PTSD of our previous duel. I feel like you are the opposite of your family members." "I am not the one who is opposite, but the real opposite from our family is someone else." The door then opens and Cyan is greeted by many servants when he enters the main hall. "It's weird to see so many people are here to greet my entrance. This could be the doing of father or that bastard Askell. In my last life they treated me like trash and now they all are very polite to me. A lot has changed since the past year. I think this could be the result of my hard work." Cyan then goes to open the door and his demeanor changes immediately. "I recognize this aura reminds me of the past." He then slowly opens the door, thinking to himself that beyond this door is that bastard, Askell. "Hello little bro, it has been quite a while since I last saw you. Don't you remember me?" "I guess that would make sense. The last time I saw you was before I went into the academy." "Calm down Cyan, calm down." "Shit, I can't calm down right now. All those rage of my previous life is boiling within me. I am going to kill him. Yeah, I will kill him right now. Make your head clear master if you don't want to die. There is no fun in killing him right now." Listening to Kiram, he closes his eyes and calms himself down a bit. He then bows down and greets his older brother. "Oh, so you still remember me?" "Yes, how can I forget my own older brother's face?" "Well then that makes me happy. I was worried that you could have forgotten me, but I am glad you haven't. I heard that your swordsmanship has improved. You will soon be able to help the Vert family. No, in fact you will be able to help me on the front lines." "Yes, I am also looking forward to that very much. What's with his looks that I just saw now? If that's the case then I am very glad. I came here just to see you today." He is the kind of guy to not even spare a glance at those he deems useless. Knowing that he is here for a reason is helping me calm down weirdly enough. Putting on a happy smile, Cyan replies that he missed him while he was away. In the hallway Emily is dragging the luggage. She thinks that since young master didn't have much luggage, couldn't he have helped me? I am so tired from carrying all of this by myself. Opening the door, she complains that young master, how could you leave me behind to carry all that luggage by myself? Oh. First young master. I heard you were close to Cyan, but looking at you now you are even more comfortable with him. Feel free to do your work, don't mind me. Yes first master. Both Cyan and Emily bows down when Askell leaves the place. I was so nervous, I almost messed everything up. Young master, you should have told me in advance if the first young master was here. Emily, can you leave me alone for a bit? Huh, but why? Don't make me repeat myself. Okay, I apologize young master. Cyan then goes into washroom and pukes into it. He slowly gets up after throwing up. Why did you stop me, Kiram? You should be thanking me, master. It was a good chance for you to take over my body as well. Don't be mistaken, I just want your rage to grow, that way you will be more delicious to consume. Haha, now that's more like you, Kiram. A butler arrives in front of Askell's room and knocks on the door. Come inside. I have tracked down the second young lady as you ordered, and where is she now? She is in the north of the territory of the White Elves, Fernia. White Elves are known for hating outsiders. It's quite commendable for her that she was able to convince them to protect her. Let me know if it looks like she is going to come back. Yes, young master. Also, did something good happen? You seem much brighter than usual. Was the meeting with your younger brother amusing? Ha, amusing you say. I guess you could put it that way if you want. But you are wrong, I am in a terrible mood right now. I apologize, master. Those eyes that I saw. It was as if he was looking at his lifelong enemy. Is it my misunderstanding? He gets on my nerves, I will have to keep an eye on him as well. Rest assured, sir, I will assign someone to do that. His assistant leaves the room and he is left alone. In his solitude he thinks about Cyan again. He thinks about what his little bro could be hiding from him. Now at the royal palace where Cyan lives, a carriage surrounded by 6 knights is about to leave the place. Emily, the young master's maid, says that she is disappointed in him. It's not my fault, Emily, I can only take 1 knight to escort me to the academy. Then you should have at least let me know about it beforehand. Anyway, it's about time for me to leave. Goodbye, Emily. Even though I am a bit angry with you, but still, do take care of yourself. Alright, don't worry about it. Let's go knights then. Cyan then proceeds to leave his palace. Emily sheds tear on his departure. Young master, don't feel down even if you get bullied there, and once again please do take care of yourself. She is very kind-hearted person I have met in my life. An incident happened when I was about 8 years old. At that time I was so sick with fever that I was repeatedly losing my consciousness. But no one was there to take care of me. The person who carried me on the back was her. She sprinted to the nearest doctor back then in such a heavy rain. She shouted on top of her lung, calling out for anyone who could help her. An old man opened his door and he allowed us to enter his house. She then took care of my fever. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have been found dead somewhere in the mansion. Jokingly, Cyan says to Emily to act right or she is gonna end up dead by his hand. She is someone who I truly value more than a maid. Cyan is contented within himself to spend such a great time with her, as from now on he will be joining the Royal Academy and can't see her much. Anyway, there are 6 whole intermediate class knights just to escort me. My instincts are telling me that something is fishy here. It seems like shit's about to go down soon enough before I even get to the academy. Cyan sets off for the academy in the morning and now it is evening time. A knight signals the other to begin the preparation. Cyan is sleeping comfortably in his carriage. But his sleep is interrupted by a knight. Young master, I think we should camp here for tonight. Alright, where are we right now? We are currently in the central city, Saffron. We will probably arrive at the city in the tomorrow morning. Alright, then let me know when you are done setting up the camp. Yes, young master. What a terrible group of liars these knights are. There isn't a forest like this near Saffron. This place is looking very odd and shady, as if all the crimes happen here. I believe we are currently in the middle of nowhere. It's very obvious what they are trying to do here. Young master, we have set up the camp, you may come out now. Cyan then steps out of his carriage. The air is quite refreshing here. Jokes aside, now tell me who is behind all of this? The coachman looks a bit worried and the smile from Knight's face drops to anxiety as their plan has been discovered. A Knight gives a broad grin to Cyan. This guy just smiled at me. Hey you, I am asking a question here. Why aren't you answering? Haha, you don't need to know who is behind all this plotting because you are going to die soon anyway. It's a shame that things have come down to this, we would have killed you painlessly in the middle of night. No hard feelings though, kid, we have been paid a good amount of money to kill you. I will be nice enough and give you a painless death if you just stand still with your eyes closed like a good boy. Alright then, go ahead and die, kid, goodbye. He swings his sword close to Cyan's neck and the very next moment the knight who was talking trash is beheaded. His head falls right in front of his comrades. His lifeless head lays on the ground motionless. I asked you all nicely that who the hell is behind all of this. But I guess I will have to become a Grim Reaper here and take all of your lives. Everyone is horror-stricken with the fact that a mere boy killed a knight. Why aren't you all trying to run away? That way it would be more fun to catch you. Did you not expect this to happen? The coachman can't believe what is happening right now. This was supposed to be a simple mission, but now it have turned into a nightmare. Another knight attacks Cyan from back, but he was no match for Cyan's speed and dexterity. His head is also cut clean from his body. Another soldier falls off and the next one too meets the same fate. One tries to run away, but he is also killed brutally with a dagger thrown onto his back. The coachman cries in fear as everyone other than him are dead, and the next number to meet God is his. Is he really an 11-year-old kid? He killed all those people with so much ease and mercilessly. After dealing with the knights, Cyan extends his hand to call his dagger back, and it comes back to him obediently. The coachman thinks that no wonder why he came alive after fighting a dragon. This mission was doomed to fail from the start. He crawls back in fear when Cyan approaches him slowly. Alright then, you are the only one who is left, so tell me everything that you know about this plan. Who is the one behind all of this? Mrs. Margaret. Just a quick note here guys, Mrs. Margaret is the Krantz's mother and Krantz is Cyan's half-brother who was beaten in a duel. Yes, she is the one who is behind all of this. He told me that way too easily. I expected some resistance from him. Please spare me, young master, I have done nothing. In the morning, Cyan's carriage leaves that place. It turns out he didn't kill the coachman. From what I heard, young master, Krantz asked his mother for a favor. He asked her to take care of you before you join the academy. That's the reason why those knights tried to kill you. Oh. So it was Krantz's special request. I will teach him a good lesson when I see him again. After all he could do is run away when he sees me. Young master, can I ask you something? What is going to happen to me now? Are you going to kill me? You don't look that sad about it. We were the ones who tried to kill you first, so I have no right to resent you if you kill me. Just focus on driving. There is a difference between being useless and having no value in being alive. You are doing a good job at driving this carriage. He is shocked to hear such kind words. Thank you, young master, you are very generous and kind. Finally we have reached our destination. This is the central city, Saffron. Somewhere in the palace, a person breaks a beautiful vase in anger. What the hell do you mean by all of this? One person is missing and the other 6 knights were found dead? Yes, and young Master Cyan is alive and has already left Saffron 10 days ago. You said dealing with that kid won't be a problem, then how did all of this happen? We are sorry, miss, we underestimated the young master's capability. How can you fail miserably at getting rid of a little child? Miss, I think there must be someone behind the scenes who did all of this and we don't know anything about him or her. If you would give me one more chance, I will send someone to the Royal Academy to deal with him. Enough of your bullshit. If Cyan finds out that we sent someone to kill him, then who knows what he will do to my child. I am terrified about the fact that he threatened to break my child's leg. It's fine, we can't do anything when he has already entered the academy. Yes, madam. Also one more thing, no one must know about his incident. Eliminate anyone who knows about it. Yes, madam, as you wish. A person in the corner spies onto their conversation. He sees the assistant leaving the Duke's wife place. Cyan is sleeping comfortably in his carriage. He thinks that it has been 10 days since he left the city Saffron, and Brian has been acting as my subordinate all this time. I assume they know about the fact that I am still alive. But I don't have to worry about it. At this rate I will safely arrive at the academy. After that I will have to think about what to do with Brian. Young master, we have reached the academy. Cyan replies half asleep with a okay. This place brings back the memories of my old days. I can't really call them good memories. However, this academy changed me in many ways in my past life. At the reception Cyan shows his badge and introduces his name. The people look at him a bit nervously as if they are talking to a celebrity. Oh yes, of course, you are registered here. You just need to go to the assigned dormitory and wait. You will have to attend the entrance ceremony and the elemental test in 2 days. She then hands him a letter and a shiny golden key of his room. Seeing such a fancy key and a letter, he asks if she is sure that she hasn't made a mistake. Is this really my room keys? A few moments later Cyan is in his room and his coachman unloads his stuff. Young master, this place is just fascinating, I don't even have words to describe it. This royal hall is magnificent. Cyan thinks that no one in his family has gotten assigned to the royal hall. I believe someone has to be behind this. Is that all the luggage there was? Yes, young master, that's all you had. Good, since I made it to the academy and all the luggage is here, so that means your role is done here. Wait, please don't kill me. I will keep my mouth shut, I won't speak a word about you to anyone. Instead of killing him, Cyan hands him a small bag full of gold coins. He stands confused in his room. For all your work, this much should be enough to help you start a new life wherever you go. You might end up dead, so don't go back to the palace. Although I won't stop you from going back, rest is all up to you. Good luck. He stands silently for a moment and then bows down in front of Cyan. I, Brian Kendrick, an official knight of Velias, would like to have your permission to serve you for my entire life. Are you a knight? I thought that you were just a coachman. Yes, I am a knight, young master. Although I am the lowest of the low, so I was on the stuff like coachman duty. My father always used to tell me that if I meet someone I can trust and serve all my life, I should ask to serve him without hesitation. That is a really foolish thing to do. I beg your pardon. How do you know that I won't stab your back in the future? Even if you were to kill me in the future, it doesn't matter. Cyan places his hand onto his shoulder and says, all right then, don't ever think about betraying me if you are going to serve me. I don't want to go to the entrance ceremony. Let's just only go to the elemental test. Yes, young master, as you wish. At the Royal Academy Dean's office. It seems like we have got quite a few talented students at the elemental test this year. Now at the place of elemental test, students are sitting awaiting for their turn. A person goes in to get her elemental test checked. Aaron Severus, mana rank 2-star, physical rank B, element light at 52%. Next person is Seth Chaharkin with mana rank 3-star, physical rank A, and element sand at 71%. These children are great prodigy. But Cyan Vert, his element is most different from others. Cyan stat are mana rank 1-star, physical rank S, and element dark 92%. The Academy instructor Sarika Nigrith says that his sister Alice Vert, who was titled the God's Child, was 88% in water by the time she graduated. This is quite interesting. Even the child who was praised for possessing top-notch talents could not match up to her younger brother. Yes, but his element is darkness. His talent might rot, considering the fact that his element is darkness. The headmaster lets go of the paper that he is holding in his hands. However, were you aware that Cyan Vert was assigned to the Royal Hall? Yes, I heard about that from the other instructors. But do you know that it was Emperor's order to especially give him the Royal Hall? On hearing this, she is more shocked than before. Apparently Cyan saved the young princess from the monsters on the front lines. He is all over the moon and is even considering marrying the two. The fifth princess, who was considered a failure, to marry into the Verts, who have never failed to raise extremely talented individuals. What kind of consequences do you think that would have? The conflicts over the succession will be heightened in that case, and the empire might split up over this issue, perhaps leading to a civil war. Don't overthink about it. Right now both of them are kids, all we can do is watch them anyway. It's for us to witness whether that child will become the empire's hero or bring forth its downfall. While walking in the hallway, Cyan thinks about his element percentage being at 92. He thinks that he would have probably reached at that number in his 80s in past life. Could it be from drinking all the demonic beast blood that I gained such good stats? While Cyan is lost in his thoughts, he catches glimpse of his brother Krantz. Hello, Krantz. Oh shit, it's Cyan. I am pretty sure that he is really shocked to see someone he thought was dead. A chubby guy behind him asks Krantz if he is the one who treats you like a slave? Yes, he is the one. His name is Cyan. This child is also a duke's son named Popper. He teases Cyan by saying that I heard you don't even know who your mom is. Cyan remembers this chubby guy from his previous life. He is someone who bullied me as much as Krantz did in my past life. How lucky of me to meet him now. I will take my revenge on him. Move out of my way, Krantz. Someone like him needs a good beating. Popper, wait, don't go there. What's wrong with Cyan's eyes? He is looking as if he will murder Popper right now. Hey Popper, why don't we just go to the cafeteria and leave Cyan alone? Without giving a second thought, Cyan lands a devastating kick onto the chubby guy, causing some property damage as well. Oh shit, I didn't expect that Cyan would do something like that. Popper, you okay? Well, why don't we have a chat, Krantz? No, I am sorry, leave me out of this. Cyan then places his hand on his shoulder, and Krantz is looking like he would shit himself. I don't care what you do behind my back because I am lenient, but if I ever see you again then you will be graduating in a wheelchair. You got that clear? Krantz could not take more and he cries like a baby. Ha, I think my life here is going to be fun. Bullying these two in my free time would be amusing. At the library, the academy instructor walks in. In his mind she is thinking about what the headmaster said about Cyan. Cyan could become hero or cause the downfall of the empire. I will have to keep a closer eye on Cyan from now on. She then goes upstairs. She looks for a very particular book but finds it to be missing there. It is not here. Who could have taken it? Are you looking for this instructor? Hearing a sudden voice from behind her, heart beats fast. How did a student get in here? Students aren't allowed in here. I couldn't detect his presence. What's going on? You are Cyan, am I correct? Can you give that book to me? I really need it for my research. Oh, this, of course, here you go. Thanks, Mr. Cyan. Now go ahead and die. Suddenly, she makes a surprise attack onto Cyan. Cyan uses the book as a distraction to vanish away from front. Isn't that the book you needed for research, instructor? Perhaps calling you instructor is wrong here. I should call you as the Mist Organization Hall Master, Sarika Nigrathi. What the hell? How do you know that? In my past life, I thought Instructor Sarika's first impression was very ordinary. How's life in Academy Cyan? At that time I was bullied a lot. I am sure you want to be done with this boring counseling, but it's necessary for the growth of the students. She expects growth from me? Someone who is being bullied by his own brother? It sounded like a joke to me, so I replied that I didn't really care about growth. Cyan, I am actually very interested in you. It's rare to see someone with 84% in the dark element. But I was told that it is not a special element. That's because humanity doesn't know much about it. I think that your growth potential is infinite. At that time I was swept up in her sweet words and doubt about my future. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Cyan. I thought maybe this person can help me, but it was my misunderstanding. I was being deceived at that time. I must not fall for that innocent-looking face of hers. Being an instructor here is her cover job. She is actually an assassin. She is the hall master of the assassin organization, Mist. She is hiding out in the academy where all the royals and nobles of the continent come to learn. Alright, Cyan, I will hear you out in my lab. Come with me after cleaning up the mess you have created here. What? I expected she would attack me again. She didn't react as dramatically as I had expected. Now at the fake instructor's lab. Cyan thinks that this place hasn't changed one bit. He then drinks tea made by the instructor. Haha, you have put poison in the tea. I knew things were going too smoothly. She was planning to kill me with this poison. Laughingly, she replies that it's not a very severe poison, don't worry about it. It will only melt your organs, nothing much. This poison won't work on me. I am someone who has consumed countless demonic beasts' blood and Emily's disgusting food as well. Maybe you should use something a bit stronger next time. These guys have gone nuts, they are treating poison like adding sugar to tea. Okay, enough jokes, now let's get down to business. How do you know who I am? Plus, you knew that I received my orders in that specific unpopular book in the library. You knew the exact location too. Are you perhaps trying to tell me that you are also a part of Mist? What more proof do you need? Haha, you think you have got a big head because of your elemental test, huh? Before setting off to the academy, I was asked by everyone if just one escort knight will do, and that too a coachman. They were worried about my safety because nobles have been murdered left and right recently. So tell me, when did the purification project begin? Purification project? I am not sure what you are talking about, Cyan. I am referring to the assassinations, of course. Both of them releases their dense aura. You might regret what you just said. Oh yeah, are you trying to threaten a student right now? She then kicks the table and throws it with force towards Cyan. So that's how you are going to respond? With one punch, Cyan demolishes the table. Using the table as distraction, she goes behind Cyan. I thought I proved my identity enough to you. Even if you are really a part of Mist, there can't be a member I don't know about, since I am a hall master. She slashes with her dual blades, which Cyan was able to dodge in time. I won't let you go, Cyan. I guess I have no choice then. Cyan summons his demonic sword. He was able to deflect both of her attack with one single swing. If you can't believe me, then I will show you the proof. Cyan makes multiple consecutive attacks, to which she has a hard time dealing with. He then uses one powerful attack and manages to push her back. That dagger, don't tell me that it is demonic sword Kiram. Only the one chosen by Eru can wield this blade. So do you believe me now? I assume Mist is looking for the successor right now. How do you know all of that? The very person you have been searching for is right here. Now bring me to Eru. Somewhere in a street in Luwin. A person uses some magic spell to open chains on a locked door. These people are none other than fake instructor and Cyan. You are not even surprised that there is a Mist base at a place like this. What kind of kid are you? Here there is the path to the altar you wanted to go to. You are on your own from here onwards. This is a unique realm made with the power of the god of fog. Because of that, it's much bigger than it looks from the outside. Cyan then predicts the number of enemies surrounding him. There are 2 at my 4 o'clock and 3 at 11 o'clock. They throw daggers at Cyan, which he was able to deflect with his sword. I already predicted this attack. But this kind of welcome ceremony is a bit too much for my liking. Assassins jump from top and tries to thrust their knife onto Cyan's skin, but he evades them in time. Multiple attacks are made towards Cyan from different direction and he dodges them flawlessly. He even sends back a dagger to the enemy face, which he just sees it coming when it is a few inches away. But he was able to deflect them in time. This child sent my dagger back to me in that short of a moment. Quite amazing. In that case I will use secret technique expansion, death horn formation. Cyan is now surrounded and about to be attacked from every corner. What will he do? He uses his secret technique expansion, bloodthirst wave. They tremble in fear when they see him using that technique. No way a kid like him can use that technique. A huge aura of energy fills the whole area and everyone gets captured within it. Bloodthirst wave is a secret technique exclusive to Assassin that allows one to manifest bloodthirst into a physical form to attack others. All of the attackers cry in pain. Shit, I can't breathe, this is too much for me to handle. They won't be able to get up for a while now. But someone catches Cyan's eyes. However, there is still one of the standing. Could he be a higher up with more power and resistance to attacks? In that case I need to use more energy against it. Fog Sword, unshakable roots of a great tree. Before Cyan can complete his manifestation, the person rushes forward and attacks Cyan. This person managed to stop my technique midway through. Who is he? The mask comes off and the person comments that you are adept at my main skill, boy. Turns out that it is the Mist's Hall Master. Cyan, I can't hold back any longer. What? Out of all the people, I expected her to be the least here. Cyan, show me your true powers. Guys, I think she has completely fallen for our MC in the most lewd ways, if I have to say. Thick fog form assault. With this he was able to send her a few feet away from him. You are proficient with the thick fog and fog sword too. You are making me even more interested. Show me your true potential, Cyan. Before she can complete her sentence, Cyan runs away from her. Zeal for combat is a skill that she possesses. This is what drives her to fight. A hall master who is drunken with such desire will go to any length to fulfill it. She will keep fighting until one of us dies. Only those who have experienced this would know the true pain of dealing with her. Come back here, my dear Cyan, isn't this what you wanted from the start too? She uses Fog Sword, rushing Fog Storm to close in the distance between herself and Cyan. Go away from me, I am not a pervert like you, just leave me alone. This is the realm created by Eru. The outside won't detect your energy at all, so you don't need to worry about that. If that's the case, then I can use all the techniques I want in a place like this. I could probably end up killing her. Suddenly Cyan feels a bit uneasy and strange in his body, and he collapses on the ground in front of her. Demonic sword Kiram began manifesting itself from Cyan's blade. You can rest, master, I will deal with her. Is that really you? I don't want to intervene your fight. You already know me, right? Hall Master bows down in front of her and replies that she does know her very well. So what is up with this situation? You are supposed to worship Eru, and not waste time fighting a kid. I was just checking to make sure that he is who he claimed to be. Whether he really is a successor or not. You could have just called your god instead of wasting time then. If you want to fight, then I can take it as direct challenge against me. I think you should pay attention to the successor first. He is lying there on the ground. What? Cyan lies like a lifeless corpse on the ground with blood coming out of his mouth. What the hell? This is no time to die, you idiot. You have manifested into your whole form, and that is a very inefficient way of doing things. You know it eats away the owner's life force rapidly. Wake up, this is nothing. What was the point of drinking all that beast blood back then if you can't stand this much tolerance? But I, Hall Master of Mist, Sarika, don't reject any fights. Plus, if you are the opponent, then I really can't turn down the offer. What's wrong with this woman? She is creeping me out. Oh, so you are fine now. Why did you suddenly manifest? Just stand behind me, master, I have to teach this woman a few lessons. Oh yeah, that would be an honor, K-Ram. Don't be crying and begging for forgiveness later on. I would love to see if you can push me to that point. A voice sounds in the room. That's enough. It's Eru's voice. A portal began forming and Cyan looks at it eagerly. The voice says to send the successor to the altar immediately. As you command, Master Eru. Cyan is happy to get his chance of meeting Eru, who is the god of darkness. Cyan explains that people firmly believes that god of black fog is pure evil. He kills anyone without any hesitation, and justifies it as an act done out of consideration. When I asked him this question, that why he kills people, his response was that, it is what they desired, others do not decide for you what is right or wrong. If you can just protect your own ethics by dying, then that is good enough. On hearing this, any person would say that this logic is insane. But I would like to tell those people that this god is just trying to protect the weak. According to me, he is a complete idiot. Cyan then steps out of the portal and meets God of Darkness, who is currently sitting on his throne. Do you know who I am, kid? To this Cyan replies with an affirmative answer, saying that he knows him very well, and he is the god of black fog. Is your name Cyanvert? I have never seen you before. What evidence do you have to claim yourself as my successor? I am sure that you have already sensed the power of the fog within me. There are two ways to become the successor. One is, if I give them the mist stone myself. The other way is if the mist stone finds the qualified one by itself. I do not know you, so I assume that the mist stone choose you. I sense that the mist stone which should be at the altar has suddenly disappeared last year. On top of that, it's surprising that you were able to awaken Kiram, even I was unable to track her down. You are handling her pretty well though. On hearing this, Kiram gets a bit annoyed. Eru further says that the light in his eyes surpasses his age. He looks more mature and experienced, which is not possible for an ordinary kid like you. So I believe you are an outsider from a timeline that I am not a part of. What? You are not part of this? I thought you were involved in my reincarnation. If you are seeking for an all-powerful and all-knowing God, then you are in the wrong place. In fact, I am not powerful at all. It has been long since my rights as a god have been taken away from me. Whatever he is saying is correct, I shouldn't have expected anything. However, this scenario is quite convenient for me. What are you talking about? A perfect successor showed on my doorsteps on his own, now there is even less work for me to do. I didn't even have to do anything. Cyan comments that he is lazy as ever. Anyway, you have brought something rather annoying with you. Were you not satisfied with the demonic sword? Now you are attempting to take the power of the holy sword too. He is referring to the holy sword hilt that Cyan is carrying in his pocket. Oh, about that, I am not trying to do anything as of now. I just thought that if the world doesn't know of this thing's existence, it might become useless. Kid, you possess quite an evil hobby. Well, I won't inquire any further, it is none of my business. But I will follow the rules and I shall ask you as your absolute master. The successor who has inherited my powers, what do you seek this power for? Cyan remembers that he was asked the same question in his past life. My answer back then was very childish. I said that I will live for my brother. Looking at it back now, I gave such an idiotic response. But they weren't bothered by my response in my past life. They gave me those powers and I became the successor. I still think that there wasn't anything better I wanted from my previous life. Before leaving, Eru gave me an advice that there is nothing more dangerous than blind faith in this world. Perhaps Eru knew of my pathetic end. Cyan replies that he doesn't have grand plans like a great cause or some divine faith. This time I will say something different. I am going to use your power purely for my self-serving purposes, just for me. So you are saying that what is right and wrong is for you to decide. Are you confident that you will not regret this? You better answer carefully. Depending upon how you responded earlier, I might kill you on the spot. Cyan replies that he doesn't care what kind of consequences his action might have. I am simply not going to follow anyone's orders. This is the path I am going to take. Looking at how confident you are, you must have some sort of plan. Well, can you tell me about it? Nope, I won't tell a single thing about it. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway as long as you will purify my name. I won't ask you any more question, you are quite boring by the way. Suddenly he gets an idea. He comes behind Kiram in matter of moments and says that he wanted to have some conversation with her daughter. Kiram becomes startled on hearing this. You have changed quite a bit, do you like your new owner that much? You are much more obedient now. I don't know what the hell are you talking about, and also stop squishing my cheeks. I am very happy to see you like this. Now come close to me, your dad wants to give a kiss to you. Kiram panics and screams at him to get away from her. I am trying to be nice to you since I don't have anything to give to your owner. Hey master, my father has gone nuts. Can't you help me just this once? Oh me, I am seeing such a wholesome father-daughter relationship, why should I interrupt your reunion? The god of mist then kisses her daughter and a magic circle forms on her forehead. Hey, what is going on? Why is a magical circle forming from your kiss? Soon after, Kiram transforms into her human form. What is this? I am having a real body. Cyan also feels weird, as manifesting Kiram into her true form requires intense use of mana, but I can't feel any mana consumption in my body. Did Eru use his own power to do that? What have you done to me, father? Oh, nothing much, I just gave you some of my life force. Don't you want to live in a human form? You will need a physical body in order to have some fun with your owner when alone with him. I just want to see my grandkids before I die. She shakes her violently while calling her father idiot and mad. What a lovely duo these two are. Next day at the student dorm, Cyan is resting a bit in his room. His servant asks him what is going on here. Don't ask me about it, I don't know myself that what is going on here. Still, don't you think that we should do something about it, young master? A fierce spark of rivalry between Mist Organization Hall Master and Kiram is taking place. This is a battle between two women to win over Cyan. Oh my, an instructor is coming to see her student so early in the morning. Don't you think that others will start talking about how special your relationship with Cyan is? Of course, I am doing all of this to guide him onto the right path. This is a perfectly normal relationship. Don't you think that a hall master should be a bit more careful? What does it matter to you about anything that I do? Just mind your own business, and I will mind my own. These two are like wild beasts ready to pounce on each other, the very chance they get it. Kiram replies that the owner only needs me, and you need to stay away from him. Cyan is bored and stressed from seeing two mature women fight in a childish way. Well, I can't listen to this anymore, I am going on a walk. Young master, please don't leave me with them. Cyan's servant is absolutely distressed, and in the background, Kiram tells the hall master to get her weapons out. They will settle the score right then and there. Oh yeah, if you are inviting me to battle, then I can't turn down such a request. Now outside the student dormitory, there is a market. People are having a good time here selling and buying various kinds of things, and Cyan is sitting on the edge of a building while thinking to himself that he finally got some time to rest. Suddenly, he catches a scent of blood. Somewhere in the alleyway a kid is being tossed around the boxes. She coughs out blood from her mouth. She looks injured and frightened from someone. These three bullies says that they should try something more powerful on her. Yes, that's a good thing to do. Let's see if she would be able to hold that much of beating. He then starts forming a magical ball in his hand, and comes closer to her, taunting her to look at this delicious meal. It would be a shame to waste such a thing, so you should better eat this. Your friend has made this with a lot of effort, you are not going to deny this gift, right? She grits her teeth to prevent swallowing the magic ball. A sudden voice from behind asks him to stop. The student says that how can he do something so cruel to a fellow student? Aren't you embarrassed to call yourself a noble? You little girl, don't you know who I am? I am Mr. Nobody, the oldest son of the Garum Kingdom's Duke, and who are you? You are interrupting my pleasurable moment. I am the princess of the Ushif Empire, Aaron Severus. Ah, I was just wondering who you are, your face looked familiar to me. I remember that you are just the fifth princess of the Ushif Empire who is considered a spoil on the family's name. He comes face to face with her and says that it is an honor to meet you. I don't feel like shaking with your dirty hands. You better explain to me that what is going on here. Who is that kid and what are you doing with him? I think you are misunderstanding something, maybe we should just ask her to clear things out. Hey commoner, tell her that what we have been doing with you. Who? Me? He then picks her up from the ground by forcibly grabbing her collar. He then places his hand around her neck and asks her were they bullying her right now? To this she replies that they weren't bullying her. Hey, you don't need to hide the fact. One can easily tell just by looking at you that somebody has bullied you a lot. With nervousness and fear in her voice she says that it's fine, we were just playing around a little bit. So please can you leave now? Haha, did you heard that princess? I am starting to get displeased with your constant interruption. Whatever you say, I am going to take her with me. Suddenly the bully grabs the Aaron's hand tightly. You should have left when I was being polite with you, but now you have crossed the boundary, princess. Hey, let go of my hand, what's the meaning of this? Didn't you just heard what Leximus said about you leaving her? Aaron replies that if he doesn't let go of her, then she will get him expelled out of the school on bullying and harassing a student. Haha, go ahead and give it a shot, you are nothing more than a weak little princess. Cyan, who was eavesdropping on the conversation, had it enough, and decides to intervene in. He kicks him at his leg and sends him flying 360 degrees in the air. Aaron blushes on seeing her crush Cyan coming to rescue her, and Cyan is even more shocked to see that the student who was getting bullied is Leximus. How can this kid be Leximus? Cyan remember her from previous life. It was at the Garum Kingdom Klein Castle, where we two were fighting. Both adult Cyan and Leximus were battling out with each other on rooftop. Cyan, who was considered the top dog in his days, was having a hard time defeating her. After all, Leximus Klein was the continent's best swordsman. She was originally from the Ushif Empire. But for some reason, after graduating the academy, she entered the Count Klein household in Garum Kingdom. She even changed her nationality. Her every strike was hard to deflect for Cyan. Her strikes were so powerful that a single swing of her sword destroyed the floor. I was able to escape that special move of hers. But then suddenly she attacked at Cyan again with high speed. This time Cyan uses a piece of cloth to distract her and lead her to a trap. Using the window of opportunity, Cyan comes from the top and plunges his dagger onto her body. After that, gravity takes its course, and he smashes her down onto the ground. In the end, I was successful in killing her, and this task of killing her was given by the Empire. My order was to assassinate her. But after infiltrating the castle, I ended up having an official duel with her. There wasn't any special reason for assassinating her. Someone who had reached the peak of swordsmanship without mana, I did not want to stealthily assassinate someone who had been titled the continent's best swordsman. Back to the current time, she is standing there with a bit of nervousness. While the bullies help his friend to get up. The bully says that he doesn't need anyone help. He questioned that why there are so many nosy bastard today? Are you Cyanvert? I have heard about you, you came back from the front lines, huh? Do you want to join our little game? It will be fun. These fools consider this a mere game, how ridiculous. Wrong usage of a mana marble can lead to destruction of mana inside the body. So you were saying that I should join a game where you force feed someone a mana marble. Then I will gladly accept your invitation. Saying this, Cyan begins making a purple mana marble in his hands. Seeing this, the bully gets shocked. Cyan makes such a huge ball that is even bigger than his own body. Aaron panics as she sees what Cyan is about to do. Why are you standing still? Open your mouth and swallow this. After teaching those bullies a lesson, they take Leximus to dormitory. Your external injuries are almost healed, but you need to be on bed rest for your internal injuries to heal. You can rest up for today, says Aaron. Cyan just stands at the end of door listening to Aaron's speech. Leximus thanks both of them for saving her, and she asks them how she could repay them this favor. Ha, you saw how those bastards ran away when our Cyan scared them away. Aaron gets a Pinocchio nose when she mentions our Cyan. Cyan in the background thinks that, does she considers us a couple? Aaron continues that they did what anyone should have done in such a situation, so there is no need to worry about it. She has got fractures and little bump on her head. It's shocking that she managed to endure all of that. I guess this is to be expected from the best swordsman of the future. Leximus breaks Cyan thoughts by asking if he perhaps know her? It's just that you keep looking at me. I thought I knew you, but apparently I don't. I apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable. No, it's fine. Aaron asks her where her dorm is? What if those bastards come to bully you again or do something to you? I live in Commoner Hall. Commoner Hall? So are you a peasant? Yes, I was enrolled specially thanks to Instructor Velton. He promised me to support financially during my school career, but he suddenly got fired. Cyan says, so this means that there is no one here to support you. Yes, that is true. If that's the case, then you might have to leave the academy then. Aaron pities the kid as she doesn't have the power to do anything. Here is my suggestion, why don't you, Aaron, take her as your personal assistant? This will be a great opportunity for you to learn swordsmanship from her, while you two stay together. What are you talking about? Leximus is a boy, so I can't keep him in girls' dormitory. Cyan says that Leximus is a girl, not a boy. On hearing this, Aaron is left dumbfounded. Leximus apologizes to Aaron, as she didn't want to deceive her or do anything like that. It's just that having short hair and boys' clothes were more comfortable to me, so that's why a lot of people mistake me for a boy. No, it's okay, it was my mistake after all. How could I not realize that Leximus is a girl? Even Cyan was able to tell that easily. I guess I have failed as a woman. Princess, don't apologize to me, I should be the one who should be asking for forgiveness. Anyway, what do you think? I think Cyan's idea is pretty good, this way you won't be bullied by bad people if you come under me. You can learn whatever you want, and have a comfortable life. But why would you go through that much pain to recruit me, who is just a commoner? Well, I don't really like being alone, so having you alongside with me would be fun for both of us. Leximus swears loyalty that she will become someone that Aaron will be proud of. Thank you so much. You don't need to thank me, it was all Cyan's doing. But when she looks back, she finds out that Cyan had already left the room without making a noise. Outside the dorm, Cyan thinks to himself that he did a good job. I am pretty sure Princess Aaron will take care of the rest from here on. Now I understand that why Leximus abandoned the Ushif Empire in my previous life. She never would have lost her mana if it hadn't been for that stupid bastard who did this to her. She will now become the continent's best swordman who never lost her mana. She is gonna be difficult to defeat even for me. Anyway, those things will happen in the future and there is no point in stressing about those things in the present. I have something important to do right now. I received an order from the Hall Master Sarika this morning. Cyan then takes out a black card from his pocket and says that this is going to be his first purification mission as a mist. This is going to be my first mission, and it's this difficult. What was going in her mind when she gave me this mission? I am worried that things are going to just get even harder if she keeps bossing me around like this. Suddenly, Cyan hears rumbling behind the wall. The wall blasts open and Cyan tries to shield himself from the impact. What could it be this time? Did a demonic beast got into the academy? Turns out a half-naked crazy person has punched a hole through the wall and asks if he is talking to Cyanvert. What? Do you know me? Yes, of course. You are Cyanvert, youngest of the Vert. You possess magic rank 1 star and physique rank S. My name is Seth Chaharkin, I am a newbie just like you. Are you kidding me? This big-ass man is 11 years old? Was there a guy like him in my past life? While flexing his muscles he says, I have already heard lots about you. You beat up demonic beasts, and even survived a dragon attack. Plus, you received rank S for your physique, even I didn't get an S. So, let's fight Cyan Vert. On seeing such manliness, Cyan remembers about him now. That mark on his chest symbolizes Sparnia. So the rumor that the Prince of the Sand got into the academy was true. Sparnia is a country in the middle of the desert that is situated at the east of the continent. Because of the powerful military led by the first prince who was a genius in both magic and combat, even the Ushif Empire had difficulty when they tried to conquer the nation. But this powerful nation fell to its ruins. The sudden death of the successor was the reason behind it. The cause of death was ruled as sickness. He had focused too much on growing his muscles that he had forgotten to take care of his health. To think I would come across him here is pure luck. What are you doing? Haven't you made up your mind yet? I haven't met him like this in my past life. This is so annoying. So you want me to fight right now? Yes, you and I right now. Let's decide who's the best. I won't accept a no. I am sure you want to do this as well. Cyan just simply says no, and Chaharkin is at a loss of words. Hey, how come you just say that? Unpermitted duels are not allowed in the academy. We have to put in an official request. Alright, where can we do that stuff? You can do it at the 3rd floor of the main hall. Without wasting any more time, he goes there. I will get the duel fast, Cyan, just wait a little bit for me, alright? Another rumor about his brain being made of muscles was true after all. He is going in the opposite direction. I don't know if you can actually request for duels, but I assume I won't see him for a while. I will focus on the purification project for now. Somewhere in the city in the middle of day, a person informs his master that all the preparations are complete. He angrily replies, "What the hell are you doing here? Go and deliver it to the clients." This person is Zicherman Albus, one of the 3 wealthiest people on the continent. He is known to the public as a kind man who donates a lot to charities, but behind everyone's back, he is actually running the slave market and breeding different species. Albus says, that today will be the appearance of my life's masterpiece, take special care of it. Unbeknownst to them, Cyan sneaks in their secret place. Target spotted. I will be able to get this done quicker than I expected. Suddenly Kiram says that she is sensing a very complex energy. What do you mean? That person is hiding something strange. He looks at a girl behind the bar holding an egg. You have finally calmed down, sleep well my cash cow. Cyan's dark energy begins sweeping at his feet. What's this? Smoke? Cyan sweeps in behind from him and cuts a person's head. The other guard becomes cautious and Albus falls down. What are you doing? Catch the intruder, at least do your pay's worth. Cyan comes in with lightning speed and disarms the guard standing there. He also makes a slash at his knee and holds his head with a knife to his neck. In his final moment he curses his fate of working with this person. Cyan mercilessly kills him. Damn it. Where have all the others gone? You will find out soon because I will send you to them. You sure employed a whole ton of people. Wasn't worth it really, if you are going to die here. Hey, don't come any closer, I will give you money or anything else you want. I have all the money in the world. Saying this he slashes his left hand. He screams like hell, as the pain is unbearable. Zicherman Albus, you are doing all kinds of inhumane experiments and breeding, even managing the slave market which is illegal. You deserve a death, don't you think? I will give you 1 minute. Repent all the sins you have committed until now. After that all your pain will vanish. While crying from all the pain, he says that just means you are going to kill me. I am just trying to make ends meet. I am selling slaves because there are people who want them. It's the guys who are buying the slaves that are the bad guys. Yeah, I didn't even think you were going to be remorseful. 1 minute is up. You can just die painfully. Using thick fog, assault form, Cyan makes multiple cuts onto his back. That's it for purification. I will look around a bit before leaving. Kiram, was this the place you were telling me about earlier? Yes, I can feel a combination of 2 different energies. Cyan slashes the bars, and is shocked to see something. It's a woman, although she looks dead. It's just a human, there is nothing special here. No, look at what she is holding. It's a dragon egg. Cyan brings that dragon egg into his dormitory. His assistant asks him from where did he got this egg. I just picked it up off the street on the way here. Who picks something like this off the street? I am serious, I was just on a walk and found it. Dragon egg, was he going to sell something this dangerous? What should we do if it hatches? Don't worry, it won't happen. Dragons are like a big hunk of mana with different elements. Even if we continuously imbued it with the right elemental mana, it might not hatch. So the dragon eggs that got separated from their mother are nothing more than just fancy rocks. Suddenly the egg cracks a bit. What? A crack? The egg began cracking in full speed, and both Cyan and his assistant are questioning themselves. Finally the egg bursts open, and out of that comes out a little girl. It hatched, young master, what do we do now? This thing is neither a dragon nor a human, so was that woman nurturing a draconic human? This is a mix between a dragon and a human. This is going to be much bigger pain in the ass than I expected. She looks at Cyan and calls him his papa. She hugs him while calling him papa once again. Me? A daddy? Does she think I am her parent? Kiram can't control her laughter, and she congratulates Cyan on becoming an 11-year-old dad. This is all your fault, Kiram. Back at the purification mission, Cyan asks Kiram, do you want me to take this? It would be bad if the wrong person gets a hold of something like this. You are right, but it won't hatch, right? Don't worry, I have never seen a dragon hatch when it's lost its mother. This is basically a stone. Haha, I never thought I would see something like this happen. Hey Kiram, didn't you say this could never happen? Yeah, that's why I said that I never thought I would see this happen. Anyway, a hybrid like her might pose a threat. She is right, this is really bad for me. Cyan looks at the sleeping dragon baby. It's no normal mix between a human and a beast. It's a freaking dragon and a human mix. The world we live in is too dangerous for a being like that. If the academy were to find out about this, the principal may harm her to eliminate outside threats. Dragons are very strict about bloodline matter too. If they were to find out that this child exists, they would try to eliminate every single creature who knows about her existence. Do I really need to risk that kind of danger? If she is fated to live a life of pain anyway, wouldn't it be better to just kill her? So that's what you are gonna do? Well, I guess it would be for the better. Cyan is about to place his hands on the child's neck. If her fate is to live in misery, then go ahead and finish your job. It would be better to send her off now. The child wakes up from her sleep. Cyan has placed his hands on her neck, and when she wakes up she calls out him as Papa. She then hugs Cyan and says that I like you. She is warm. He then slowly picks her up in the air. What is this feeling? I think it will work out somehow. Let's just raise her, Kiram. While Cyan is smiling, Kiram in her own twisted way is thinking if he is planning to make her servant or something. At Vert's castle, Krantz's mother is very panicked. What do I do? Cyan, that bastard, it will be bad for Krantz if I don't do something about him. Askel comes from behind and greets her mother. This startles her. Please talk to me, mother, if you are struggling with anything, you seem anxious. Thanks, Askel, for asking. But I am okay, I am not struggling with anything. He then waves goodbye on her departing mother. As soon as she leaves, his entire demeanor changes. He asks about report from Kellen. Sir, 6 of our knights were found dead in the mountains by Velias. We are assuming that the remaining one got into Luwin with the youngest son, Cyan. The one behind it was Mrs. Margaret, as you expected. Is there anything more? The last thing I heard was that the youngest son was put into the royal hall. The informant has been unreachable after that. I already knew all of this. So you weren't able to find out anything about my brother? Oh no. He is disappointed. He never keeps around subordinates who disappoint him. I can't give up my position after all the hard work. I will go there myself. Please believe me, I won't disappoint you. I know how much of a hard worker you are. All right, I will give you one more chance, so be fast this time. My brother is definitely hiding something, find out what it is. Yes, sir. At the school dormitory, Cyan's teacher is going to meet him while clenching a roll in her hand. Cyan and Kiram were peacefully feeding the baby. What brings you here, teacher? There aren't any classes today. Why is there a baby here? The baby gets happy on seeing a new person walk into the room. It's a long story, just tell me, why are you here? Well, I can hear about this later. There is a more urgent issue at hand. You have caused quite the trouble in the academy. Trouble? She shows him the paper of duel request between him and Chaharkin. What were you thinking? Staying on the down low was the least you could do. Are you insane? Have you gone crazy for attention? Even the principal is going to be there. Oh, Chaharkin. He really found a way to do this? I guess he did find the office for it. What's the big deal about it? It's just a couple of 11-year-old fighting. That 11-year-old is no ordinary 11-year-old. So when's the duel? In 2 hours. And Chaharkin is already waiting for on the stage. This is pain, this is way earlier than I thought. I have been waiting for this moment, Cyan Vert. I am sure you feel the same way. Cyan comes to the arena, and he is not even motivated one bit. I wanted a duel of combat, but apparently, the only options here are swordsmanship and magic. Are you gonna use magic, Cyan? If you are not gonna use it, I won't either. That's good, I like you. Without any further delay, Chaharkin leaps behind Cyan with his sword. Let's see how good you are, Cyan. He just stands still and comments that he is pretty fast despite his body size. His sword has a lot of his weight in it too. But this kind of weighty attack is very easy to deflect. Cyan deflects the attack smoothly and Chaharkin is amazed by his skills. For an opponent like him, what you need isn't strength, but acuity and preciseness. Cyan prepares to swing his sword, and Chaharkin says that move of his won't work on him. They both make a clash with each other, and once again Cyan makes him twist his sword. He is using the downward strike to twist away my attack, even then he is just using a rapier. After dealing an attack, Chaharkin goes behind him, and he attacks Cyan from behind. This time Cyan places his rapier in his sheath, and grabs Chaharkin's legs, much to his dismay. Judging from his face, he is having a bad time here. Does he have eyes on the back of his head or something? Cyan is about to slam him onto the ground, and give him a good feel of the getting his face hit in dust. But just in time, Chaharkin grabs the ground with his hands and puts all of his weight toward the front, and kicks back in Cyan's direction. He managed to counterattack in that short time. He is quite agile for someone of his size. The crowd is amazed by the exceptional skills of Chaharkin. They comment that what kind of move did he pull up there? Is he even a human? After a while, Chaharkin regains his composure. This is probably his first time fighting a formidable opponent, and soon after sweat began emerging on his face. Now he has completely lost his senses. He says that he lost in swordsmanship, so that's why I have to win no matter what it takes. I am going to give everything I have to this fight. I guess that's fine as well, this guy is such a tiring dude. Now, I will come toward you Cyan, so you give it your all too. Chaharkin releases a huge burst of energy, and in that process, he rips some of his clothes as well. Oh, Cyan Vert. Let's dance. The dean in his mind thinks that are these two going to fight with magic now? What a bunch of bold children. They aren't using both magic and swordsmanship simultaneously. The teacher next to the dean says that it seems like Cyan won the sword fight, to which he replies that he did win that. Seth Chaharkin's physique rank was A, and Cyan Vert's was S. So, it was quite an obvious result when you consider just the ranks. However, being fit is only the basic requirement to be able to manifest higher dimensions of spells. Chaharkin is 3 stars in mana rank. That's the highest out of all the enrolled students. What will Cyan do? While the headmaster is lost in some deep thought, Cyan's teacher thinks that this bastard Cyan, he is just begging for people to pay attention to him, huh? I will teach him a lesson after this duel. At the arena, Chaharkin began forming something from sand. He forms a death fist which has a few rocks stuck on it. He then makes a power punch. Well, it seems like we are going to fight with magic now. Cyan easily dodges that attack. But when he keeps his next step, an attack has already begun forming up there. I won't let you escape this time Cyan Vert. His consecutive sand attacks make Cyan run for his life. Chaharkin then unleashes his second major attack, the Desert Tooth. A sand wall begins forming in front of Cyan, and this stops him dead in his tracks. The sand began enveloping him from all 4 sides. If I remember correctly, then Chaharkin has a magic rank of 3 star. The sand began entrapping Cyan. But he has already moved out of there safely. Now that I have seen this attack, I believe he should be able to use even 4-star magic. The instructors who are keeping up the barrier might be having a hard time. Chaharkin is now frustrated with all of this. He says, how long do you intend to run around and avoid my attacks like a little rat? Then are you suggesting me that I should have taken those attacks head on? Shut up, a warrior wouldn't have dodged them. You won't understand this little kid. What a weirdo, you are a kid too Chaharkin. Enough of your bullshit, I will end this now. He uses his special attack, Sandstorm. The dean is quite curious to see the young boy's talent. Wait a minute, I thought Chaharkin's mana rank was 3 star, right? Then how come he can use a 4-star spell? Chaharkin unleashes a sandstorm and in the process gets the rest of his shirt ripped off. Cyan stands calmly in the face of an approaching sandstorm. Alright, then I will take this head on. While Cyan is out there fighting in the arena, someone is feeding a baby some milk. Cyan's assistant says that he is glad he has experience caring for a baby. It was kind of annoying when I had to take care of my younger siblings, but I didn't expect it to come in handy like this. Oh princess. Where are you? It's time to eat. He is speechless to something. You were born yesterday, and you already grew up that much? Back to the duel, the sandstorm has occupied the whole arena, and the crowd thinks about what could be possibly going on in there. Chaharkin's attack is so powerful that the barrier began breaking. The protective barrier is on the verge of collapsing, quickly reinforce it. Damn it, just how strong these 2 students are. What's the dean doing? Can he see how serious things are getting here? Even the teacher asks the dean to stop the duel right now, but the old man is just interested in seeing the result of the duel. I sense something happening inside that arena. Cyan uses his secret technique expansion, void sphere, and black energy begins condensing in his hands. The teacher in her mind begs Cyan not to use it. However, it's already too late for that. Cyan has unleashed his black orb that consumes Chaharkin's sandstorm. The dean is quite amazed by it. He comments that Cyan always surprises me again and again in this fight, ha ha ha. On the opposite to that, the teacher curses Cyan for using that mist technique here. Now the black orb has completely consumed Shuriken's magic. After the job is done great, Cyan calls back the orb in his hands. Now, a half-naked Shuriken is left with nothing but a shocked face and humiliation of the defeat. The students comment that the spell disappeared suddenly. Was that black sphere also magic? Another student says that he has never heard of magic like that though. Just what is he? Cyan says the fight's over, Chiharken. Do you still wish to continue fighting me? A mana-deprived Chiharken is at a loss for words. He slumps down on the ground and says that I can't believe I lost this match. I lost in both swordsmanship and magic, I am now a depressed man. I kind of feel bad for him, did I beat him too one-sidedly? Suddenly, Chiharken smashes the ground and says this is good, very good. I was tired of fighting weakling anyway. Now I am motivated to train and beat you. He extends his hands to leave this match on a positive note. I don't know when it will be, but let's fight again, Cyan. You will accept the challenge then too, right? Cyan shakes his hand, and at the same time, he refuses his proposal of fighting again. Cyan comes back from the duel and sees the hybrid dragon child. I knew that a dragon's growth spurt is faster than humans, but she looks like she is about 6 years old now. She welcomes his papa back. Even a dragon-human hybrid grows that fast? She might look like my age soon. His assistant says that she keeps growing so fast. Cyan replies that you are right, if she keeps growing this fast, then it will be harder to raise her in secret. A voice from Cyan's back says that eventually, you won't be able to hide her anymore. His teacher says that she can help him hide the demonic sword, but she can't help you hide a draconic human. Especially if you go wild like you did today. What were you thinking back then? Kiram, who was sleeping on the couch, wakes up and starts babbling about something while half asleep. The little girl has now grown a pair of wings and a tail. She is growing scarily fast. I didn't see her just for a bit, and she's already this big. Cyan, I am telling you this, it's up to you how you deal with something you picked up during a mission. But something like this is going to be hard to handle. Cyan replies that Brian is in charge of taking care of her. Besides, there is a barrier set up in the dorm too, so Kiram and this kid's presence should be unnoticeable from outside. She hands him over a letter while saying that as long as you don't create trouble, you will be able to keep that draconic human in the dorm. Cyan takes the letter and says this is rather disappointing for a reward for winning the duel. Before leaving, her teacher advises him to be careful for a while. Nothing good will come out of getting too much attention. His assistant asks what that letter is about. Ah, it's a warning letter. A warning letter? Yeah, it's telling us we are going to be kicked out for misbehaving. Wait, what? Are we really going to be kicked out? This startles the young girl. What do we do now, Papa? Are we going to be living off the streets? What? Where did she learn to say that kind of thing? Does she even know the meaning of this? She is growing way too fast. Cyan pats her on the head and says that you don't need to worry about anything as long as your father is here. Cyan's assistant is in a great dilemma. Are you sure it will be alright? If we have to leave this place and go back to Velia's, I would be killed for betraying my boss. Don't worry about it, I am going to issue a complaint. The dean sent this to me himself, it wasn't from the administration office. Then this must mean that the dean wishes to talk to me. Cyan remembers a moment from his previous life when the dean called him. He asked me if I wanted to enter the Knights of Light? Have you finally decided to live for the sake of your brother? Cyan replied with a yes. Well, my boy, it doesn't seem like a path fitting for you. Cyan gives him a serious stare on this one. The dean further continues, I guess you are aware of that too, then let me give you some advice. Nothing good will come out of taking this path. Whether you face trials or bear a cruel fate, you won't benefit from anything. That's what it's like to live as someone's doll. No matter the result, you are just going to end up blaming your brother. That's what he told me in my past life. I wonder what he is going to tell me this time. The assistant breaks the silence. He says that young master, shouldn't we give this child a name? A name? Yeah, we can't keep calling her kid. Then how about we call her Nana, how's that? Huh, how could you come up with a name in such a short time? Did you even give it any thought? However, the kid likes the name a lot. Yay, I want to be Nana Vert. This kid, how did she know my last name? The assistant is in dilemma again, he thinks that she is now going to be bullied by other kids. Now, at the Royal Academy of the Dean's office. The Dean is doing some paperwork. In his mind, he thinks that he knew that Cyanvert had a lot of potential, but to absorb a 4-star spell using a 1-star black sphere is too good. He is scarily talented. But it didn't seem like it took him that much effort. I want to know your limits, Cyanvert. The dean of this school, Kundal Quazel, has taught the current emperor, Dion Severus, and is also the father of the last empress, Diana Quizelle. He is one of the few 9-star mages of the continent, who has been focusing solely on the education of students at the academy after the death of Diana Quizelle. There is one thing I want to know about the dean. I had always thought that he was a pacifist, but in this life, he suddenly intervened in the royal succession fight. His personality hasn't changed though, it seems. Cyan taps in front of him, and a magic barrier is revealed. He knew that I was coming, and he still put up a 9-star area restriction barrier. Alright, if this is a test, then I will take it. The dean smiles happily within himself. Now, what will you do, Cyan? Only a great mage can destroy such a barrier. But instead of entering through the door, Cyan bursts through the window like a hero. This takes the dean aback. Cyan lands with a powerful impact on the ground. Dean Kundal, I am Cyan Vert, an incoming student. I came to express my disagreement with the complaint. He ignored the barrier and came through the window. I definitely lost this one. Okay, what's your disagreement? It is said that the letter came from you, but after seeing the barrier outside, I became certain of one thing. The warning letter was just an excuse to test my talent, wasn't it? Right, it was a rather aggressive approach, but you successfully proved your talents. But I will not take back the warning. You can try to persuade me otherwise. Then can I ask you one thing? Yes, go on, Cyan. Do you want the expansion of the empire, or do you want the honor of your family? The dean's eyes become more serious now. That's quite a bold question. Anyway, neither of them is my concern. Oh, is that so? Then after the death of the Emperor Dion, if the third and fourth prince were to try and take the throne instead of the first prince, wouldn't you take sides, huh? Kid, you are not just bold, but arrogant as well. I was a doll for Askelvert, but I don't think you are different from my past self. In my past life during the throne succession fight, the dean had a large influence in making the first Prince Luinel Severus, the emperor. He was a cruel and vicious man, and he killed all of his siblings. And when the dean was against this, he framed him as a traitor of the empire and sentenced him to death. He worked to brighten the future of someone else, but ended up being betrayed by this very person. The dean has lost his calm and smashes his table. Nonsense. Do you think the peace of the last century will fall so easily? I thought you were a genius, but you are nothing more than a fool. Do you really think so? I will tell you something. The mother of the first prince and second princess died from an illness, and the third and fourth princes are a fair match for the first prince too. The household that Empress Cassandra comes from is very well known for being greedy for power. That household will do anything to keep their position of power. If I have to sum it up, then the empire's peace is already on a thin line. And the day that peace falls, this academy will be over too. Dean can't believe his eyes. Is this really the thought process of an 11-year-old? He knows every detail of the current political climate. What are you telling me this for? It's simple, I want to negotiate. I will help you with the peace of your family and the academy too. So please take back the warning. The dean laughs at this one, and Cyan can't understand what's there to laugh about. He began forming a magical circle on the ceiling. The dean asks him, "What power do you have to help me, huh? Now feel the weight of your arrogance." He lets out one of his special skills, the chains of judgment. The chains wrap around Cyan and trap him. So things have come down to this, huh? Do you want to fight me, Dean? The dean replies that struggling is pointless for him. He has set up an unescapable 9-star spell. It seems like he overestimated his skills. Cyan chuckles and says that he will prove himself. Dean is shocked to see Cyan is so calm in the face of a dangerous situation. He uses the void sphere applied technique, and his entire body warps in black mist. The chains are also getting enveloped in the fog. The dean is surprised. Cyan's void sphere is only a 1-star magic, yet it absorbed his 9-star spell. The chains get pulled into the black sphere, and all of the magic gets sucked into it. Dean can't believe what he is seeing. He repeatedly asks himself, just how much Cyan is talented. Cyan disperses the spell and the dean's 9-star magic has been destroyed. While dusting his clothes, Cyan asks the dean if he sees him as useful now. Dean now believes in his capabilities and he will gladly take back the warning as well. He further asks him if that is all he wants. Cyan says that he wants to have a peaceful student life. Dean again asks, is that all? Cyan replies that's all. He thinks that, unlike in his previous life, he doesn't want to see the academy collapse again. It's evening and the atmosphere is pleasant. A person is carrying a bunch of sweets. He thinks that he bought too many sweets because he has a kid at home. Cyan's assistant, Brian, is quite happy with his purchase today. He can't wait to see Nana eating all these sweets. Suddenly, he feels someone following him. He is in a dark alleyway and everything is strangely quiet. He could sense someone close to him and asks that person to come out of the shadows. A person steps out, and Brian is amazed and confused to see him here. That person kidnaps him and the sweets drop from his hands. Instead of Brian, only sweets are left in the alleyway. Earlier that morning in the Royal Academy, Cyan is sleeping in his lectures. Although he has resolved the issue with the dean, he was forced to attend classes. The lectures are so boring that he sleeps in every class. He thinks that learning something he has already done in his previous life is torture. Since he doesn't have any mission, so he will just go and train. Before he can bunk the classes, he gets caught by Princess Erin. She creeps at him and says that lessons aren't over. Mr. Cyan, where are you going? Cyan replies that he is just going to the bathroom. Erin says, stop lying, Cyan Vert. That's not the way to the bathroom. Is he really sure about going to the bathroom? Behind Erin, Leximus asks her to behave better. Cyan asks did she allowed Leximus to call her by name. Erin replies that she allowed her to do that in private. Also, why does he still call her, Your Highness? Aren't both of us supposed to be friends? Cyan replies that he is just an ordinary civilian and Your Highness is a princess, so how could he call her by name? While they are talking, another student comes downstairs. He calls out Erin's name. The arrival of that person makes her feel unpleasant. She shivers on seeing him. Two people say that it has been a long time since they saw her. The first person's name is Pavian, and the second person's name is Nerovian. Erin bows in respect and replies, yes, it has been a while. Pavian asks, does she have a habit of hanging around with peasants? Nerovian bullies her by saying that she suits peasants well. Cyan recognizes them as a part of the Nepellus family. It's also very clear that they don't like her. On seeing Cyan, both ask if he is Cyan Vert. He then gives his famous introduction. Hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm Cyan Vert, the youngest of the Verts. They ignore Erin and start talking about his great accomplishments. They are impressed by the duel he fought with Chaharkin recently. They want to invite him to his party when he is old enough. They talk about being friends with each other and how this could be a rare opportunity for him. Cyan thanks them for the offer and says he would think about it. On the other hand, Erin is left alone. His brother creeps behind her and says that she is not part of their group. She should know her place and don't get too cocky. He looks down on her and says, she should be aware that she is a bottom feeder. Leximus asks, are they the princes? They were acting arrogantly. Erin says that they are still her family. However, the only difference is that they are the direct son of the Duke and she is adopted. Cyan says that judging by their attitude, they are pieces of trash and worse than strangers. Be it pure bloodline or half-blood, it's all meaningless in the face of power. If they are treating you like that, it just means they are afraid of you. They are just trying to keep you in check, so there's no need to feel down. Cyan's warm words make her blush. She has fallen in love with Cyan, and Leximus asks if she is alright. Cyan comes back to his room and his daughter is sleeping peacefully. He sees no one guarding Nana during her sleep. He calls out Brian and Kiram's name. Kiram was also sleeping and she complains about not getting a break. Cyan asks why is she in this form. She replies that it is convenient to hide her presence this way. Anyway, why did he call her? Cyan commands her to look for Brian. Kiram is puzzled at his order. She complains that ever since she came under him, he has been treating her like a dog. Now, he is asking her to find a person. She says Brian is old enough to find his way back. Suddenly Kiram smells something amiss in the air, she smells blood. This puzzles Cyan. Back in the dark alleyway, Brian is getting beaten up. A student among the thugs says that Brian should listen to him while he is nice. This boy is the school bully who got his ass beaten up by Cyan and now he is targeting Cyan's assistant. He says, Brian, you have made things annoying for us. He thought he was a guardian knight but he is a total garbage. He wants to cut Brian into pieces and then send the gift to his owner. He is taking revenge for what Cyan did to him earlier. Just thinking about Cyan makes the bully beat Brian even more. Even in such a bad condition, Brian makes fun of the bully for being a coward. This bold statement makes the bully go crazy. He says playtime is over and orders his minion to kill Brian. Luckily, Cyan comes at the right time and asks what they are doing here. Cyan is standing on the wall while defying gravity, and his voice makes the bully panic. Cyan says, so, Barrett Louis Mill, you are the one who's behind Brian's abduction. Brian's nose is bleeding and his face is disfigured. Cyan says, Brian, you are hurt bad, it sounds like your vocal cords are hurt too. The bully, not understanding the situation he is in, says, Cyan, you have come to the tiger's den. This is great. I will start with carving out your organs. Cyan says he is excited as well, he will teach him a proper lesson this time. Cyan uses thick fog 8th form, assault. Using it, he cuts down the distance between him and them quickly. He swiftly deals with thugs, making multiple strikes on each one. He kills every side character in one attack and leaves the bully to torture later. Barrett the bully thinks that Cyan killed all of his mercenaries just like that. Isn't there a way to beat him? The last time when Barrett faced him, he was so strong, and now he is even stronger than before. Just who is he? Barrett summons fire in his hands and screams that he will be the one to beat him. Before he could complete his spell, Cyan kicked him in the gut and sent him rolling down the alleyway. Barrett hits the wall and Cyan comments that he never changes. Cyan walks slowly toward him and asks, "Is it really that fun to harass people who are weaker than you?" Barrett replies that he is helpless about it, tormenting the weak is his hobby. He can't kill him for just that. Cyan gives a background about Barrett Louis Mill from his past life. He is the oldest son of the Louis Mill household, which makes him the authority figure in the Garum Kingdom. He was pretty well known for his problematic behaviors too. He physically assaulted people for the sake of his entertainment. He found pleasure in burning small animals alive. However, one day he committed a crime that really crossed the line. He murdered a fellow female classmate, and when he was asked about why he did it, his excuse was that he was practicing magic. In the end, there was an order from Mist to assassinate him. When Cyan infiltrated the mansion where Barrett was staying after the expulsion, he was left speechless. He saw countless corpses of the servants that had been stored in the basement. When he captured and tortured him, he was going to kill him most painfully. But to his astonishment, Barrett smiled at him. Barrett told Cyan to just kill him instead of dragging things out. He had all the fun he wanted and he was fine with dying now. That face is still vivid in Cyan's head. In the present, Cyan thinks that killing him so quickly in past life wasn't enough. He deserves a punishment more brutal for ruining the lives of countless people. Leximus is also one of his victims. She would not have betrayed our kingdom and lost her mana core if this idiot didn't get in her way. Cyan angrily grabs his mouth and makes a black energy core. Barrett begs Cyan not to shove that thing in his mouth. He threatens Cyan by saying that he can't avoid the consequences of doing this to him. He is a Louis Mill, the most powerful family in the Garum Kingdom. Cyan says he talks a lot and shoves the energy core into his mouth. He further says, "I'm fine if you don't like me. In fact, you can dislike me all you want and say bad things behind my back. I don't give a shit about it." Cyan covers Barrett's mouth so he won't spill out the energy core. Cyan says that he crossed the line when he put his dirty hands on his subordinate. He is freaking garbage for a human being. The mana core reacts within Barrett's body and he starts screaming at the top of his lungs. A spy sees everything from the roof. He is Askelvert's most loyal dog. He had no idea that Cyan was hiding such powers. He thinks about notifying young Master Askel immediately. While he is busy thinking, a hand stretches out from his behind. The Mist Organization Hall Master captures the spy with a knife to his throat. She was wondering who was the obsessive stalker that had been following his disciple everywhere recently. Down at the alleyway, Brian is hurt and Cyan comes to help him. Brian apologizes to Cyan for being useless. He never thought that people would attack him in such a large group. Cyan thinks that Brian looks so ugly. He asks that if you are my subordinate then why were you engaging in a fight where you were going to lose? Brian replies that he swore loyalty to him, to serve him for his whole life. Cyan makes fun of his loyalty. "I know what you mean by that, but are you stupid? I don't need a loyal subordinate who dies, so don't do stupid things. Anyway, you are in for a long lecture when we get back." After dealing with the small issue, Cyan asks the hall master to come out of the shadows. A huge number of mist people came out. Sarika says, "Oh, you noticed?" Cyan says that anyone can tell if you bring so many members to the party. She drops from the roof and tells him about a present she has brought. She throws down the spy. Cyan already knew that a person was following him lately. Sarika is shocked. Cyan can't help calling himself a genius. Even the hall master admits that he is very talented. Sarika says, "Cyan, you have power surpassing that of a mist assassin, intellect that allows you to strike a fair negotiation with the dean, and mental fortitude that allows you to handle the demonic sword perfectly. All of that makes you an ideal fit for a successor. But if these kinds of things continue to happen, then more people will be suspicious." Cyan says that he would be careful. However, he doesn't intend on living like an idiot and taking shit from others. If anyone puts a hand on his people like this, he will crush them no matter what. Sarika chuckles and thinks, now Cyan wants to protect his people, how amusing. Since the spy has been captured and there is nothing else to do, she will go now. Before leaving, she tells Cyan to take care of the spy and she will take care of Barrett and his minions. The spy asks Cyan about his fate. Will he kill him? Cyan says killing is too simple. He has something special for him. The spy exclaims that if he is thinking about questioning him, then he can forget about it. He won't utter a single word. Cyan points his finger at him and says, "You are Askel's #1 subordinate," and the spy gets shocked. How could he forget him? He never steps away from Askel's side. He used to be jealous of the relationship he shared with Askell in his past life. This person could be dangerous with how much influence he has in Askell's decision. Cyan thinks that killing him right now would be fine, but he is Askell's most trusted subordinate. So, he should be pretty useful for my plans. Cyan's black energy terrifies the poor spy. Cyan uses his ultimate technique, shadow creation. The black mist enters his body through his mouth and eyes. What happens to him remains a mystery for now. We are back at the Royal Academy. Leximus is having a practice session with Princess Erin and she is having a hard time dealing with her attacks. She is confident in her abilities and this time she will defeat Leximus. However, she is faster than her and she moves to Erin's blind spot. Leximus places her wooden sword at her neck and calls it a checkmate. Erin is frustrated with losing every match against her. She also reminds Leximus to call her by name when no one else is around. She apologizes while calling Erin, Your Highness again. Erin corrects her to just say, Miss Erin. Their attention diverts to Cyan training near them. Erin says that they are training harder than us. Cyan is training Brian, and Brian gets hit in the stomach, kicked in the legs, and at last a powerful hit that sends him flying a few feet back. Cyan thinks that Brian has quite some endurance despite being a lowly Erin knight, and he is strong as well. He could prove to be useful later on. Cyan asks if he is tired. Brian replies that he isn't tired at all. But Cyan gets alarmed on seeing blood spilling out of his mouth. Even though Brian is tired, he would have kept the training going. He knows that there's no guarantee that an incident similar to Barrett's won't happen again. So, Brian needs to learn to defend himself. Brian inquires if the spy we caught earlier would be alright. Cyan tells him not to worry about it, he has already joined our side. Earlier, Cyan used shadow creation on Askell's subordinate. After that, Brian is amazed to see Cyan's full potential, and as for the subordinate, he lies motionless. This technique was hard for Cyan to pull off. He has only used it once, and that too a long time ago. It's a 9-star dark element magic, shadow creation. It creates a personality from the shadows to manipulate the opponent. He cuts the rope binding him and asks him questions. The first question is about his identity. He replies that he is Kellen Diego, a guardian knight of Velia's. He was given the order to watch young Master Cyan, so he came to Luwin. Cyan is impressed by the technique. Just a few moments ago he was rebelling, but now he's submissive. Next question, who's the owner you serve? He replies he has been serving young Master Askell, but now he wishes to serve young Master Cyan, and he requests to take him in. Cyan allows him to join but on one condition. He has to relay a message to Askell, and he shouldn't leave anything out. Kellen accepts the condition and bows down in front of him, his eyes brimming with loyalty. Cyan is worried about Kellen, his eyes were overwhelmingly showing loyalty. Cyan brushes off this thought and believes Kellen will do just fine. Erin and Leximus come to see their training, and Brian bows in respect while Cyan asks if they are training here as well. Erin explains that she comes here to train with Leximus every weekend. She thought it would be a good idea after an incident happened with a school student. Cyan thinks, is she referring to what he did with Barrett? After teaching him a lesson, I left him in front of the nurse's office. When people asked him about who did this to him, he could not utter a single word against me. Even though he wants to say it, he can't say it because he fears me now. Also, he won't be able to use magic ever again after swallowing my energy sphere. But he didn't anticipate seeing such a boring reaction from Leximus. She was tormented by Barrett in the past, so she should be happy instead. Suddenly, Nana comes out from hiding and she calls Cyan her daddy. She is up in the sky calling Cyan her daddy again. Brian asks what is Nana doing here. Cyan is stunned as well. He left her with Kiram for babysitting, but what is she doing here? As for Kiram, she is sleeping peacefully on the couch. Erin catches Nana and she is puzzled to see a baby. Nana exclaims that she has finally found Papa Cyan. Erin thinks if she heard it wrong, how could Cyan be a father? Nana still calls Cyan her daddy. After a moment of realization, Erin asks, with which girl and when did he do it? Cyan is confused about what she means by that. Later, he takes her to his dormitory and clears away her misunderstanding. After hearing the reality, Erin breathes a sigh of relief. She is glad that Nana isn't his real kid. She was having all kinds of weird-ass thoughts. She is happy to see Cyan being so kind. But Cyan thinks this is the worst situation. She might blackmail him for this. Brian thinks if this situation gets out of hand, they will be kicked out of the academy. Plus, she even knows that Nana is a draconic human. Erin pats her chest and exclaims that she won't tell anyone. Cyan asks if she is serious about it. Erin replies she is serious and asks Leximus to keep it a secret as well. While playing with Nana, Leximus replies that she doesn't have any friends to tell, so there will be no problem. Her lack of social life hits Erin's heart. Ignoring all of this, Cyan asks why will they keep it a secret? Isn't it tempting to tell others? Eren replies, why you ask? It's just that I feel bad for her. She won't fit in with the dragons or humans and she won't be accepted by anyone. But Cyan, you are different, you want to take care of her, and that's a good enough reason for me. Eren playfully asks if she can come to his room sometimes. She blushes and says don't get the wrong idea, she just wants to see Nana sometimes. In reality, she wants to be close to Cyan and have some fun. Cyan replies that he is okay with that. This is going to be our little secret, so don't tell anybody. Eren is excited, she now has a little secret with Cyan, and with time she could start a little chemistry with him. After exchanging pleasantry, Cyan leaves. Leximus asks if she is alright. But she is lost in her crazy thoughts of being with Cyan. Later on, Kiram asks did something that funny happened while she was sleeping. She jokes about revealing the fact that a demonic sword is also living with him. Cyan asks her to shut up, she should be reflecting on her actions now. Kiram replies that she isn't the one who is at fault. Nana is just like you, she does whatever she wants. Brian suggests that we should take Nana outside for walks, she might be stressed from living inside all the time. Cyan likes the idea and Brian gets happy. So they go out for a walk. At the same time, two dragons in human form are flying in the sky. The male dragon smells something strange and halts. Seeing this, her female companion also stops. She asks, what's wrong? He replies that he smelt something sickening, and he asks her about the location they are in. She replies that they are near the famous Royal Academy located in Luwon. He says that they will return a bit later. For now, he wants to investigate the strange smell. He can feel a disgusting aura coming from the Luwon Academy and it should not be allowed to live. On the outskirts of Luwon, the trio are playing together. Nana is spreading her wings and flying in the open sky, and Brian is chasing after her. Cyan is happy to see her daughter having fun. Since this place is 10 kilometers away from the center of Luwon, so there won't be a problem. She could play here all she wants. Kiram says that he is acting like a real father now. She suggests getting Nana a mom too. How about Princess Eren becomes her mom? Cyan gets a bit angry but doesn't react to her. However, he becomes serious when the aura in the atmosphere changes. Kiram also feels an attack is coming. The male dragon calls the humans below disgusting and attacks them. Brian screams that it is dangerous Nana. And he saves her at the last moment. Cyan inquires if Nana is alright. Brian replies that she is okay but afraid. He tells Brian to stay behind him. The two dragons descend on the ground and Brian thinks why there are dragons here. The dragon comments that the sickening smell is coming from that little child. Mr. Dragon says that this child is disgusting. Mrs. Dragon says, how could such a vile creature dwell here? She asks Kiram if she is the owner of that human. Kiram replies, so what? She calls Kiram an inferior being who has degraded herself to be a human slave. Kiram asks does she has a death wish. Mrs. Dragon gets irritated with her and Mr. Dragon calms her down. He says that the reason they are here isn't to fight the inferior humans, but they want Brian to hand over the child to him. Mr. Dragon wants to experiment on that half-human half-dragon child. He threatens to kill them if they don't hand over her. Cyan says to shut his mouth. Mr. Dragon asks what did you just say? Have you gotten deaf? I said shut up, you lizard piece of shit. Mr. Dragon laughs at his bold statement. He attacks Cyan. Brian asks if he is alright. Cyan dodges the attack and replies that he is fine. He suggests Brian to get far away from here. Cyan is impressed by Mr. Dragon's attack, and even he takes pride in being a superior being. Cyan uses Thick Fog 9th form, demonic sword manifestation, and Mrs. Dragon recognizes that power. Mr. Dragon says that it's a forbidden power, and he didn't expect to see so many surprises here. Still, he thinks of Cyan as an inferior human being. He lets his guard down and Cyan comes right beside him. He can't believe that he is quick. He deflects Cyan's attack just in time and curses that lowly human beings can't push him. While Cyan is airborne, he attacks him again. Next, he attacks with a shockwave. A magical circle forms above Cyan, and this startles him. The light shines brightly and it causes massive destruction. However, Cyan saves himself by using Thick Fog's third form, Fog Glide. Then he uses Fog Sword, Rushing Fog Storm, making consecutive slashes. However, his slashes are blocked by the Mrs. Dragon fire barrier. She is quite confident about blocking his attack. However, Mr. Dragon screams at her to get back, she is no match for his powers. Now, she is overconfident and believes that she won't lose to him. She has put up a dragon's barrier which is made from mana accumulated over 1,000 years. A human that can't live for 100 years won't be able to break it. Well, she has pissed off Cyan now. He uses Fog Sword, 8 fluttering petals, and she can feel the unease in his attack. Cyan triples down his attack on the barrier and breaks it. Mrs. Dragon is surprised, she can't believe that he pierced through it. Cyan follows up with his next attack, double serial slash, and Mrs. Dragon dies in front of his fiancée. He gets enraged by her death and asks, who is he? How does he have so much power? He asks him to spit it out, to tell him the truth. He admits that Cyan is a worthy opponent, but he won't let him go that easily. He uses his ultimate technique, Polymorph, and Cyan stares at him transforming into a dragon. Polymorph is a spell that makes a dragon abandon its human form and return to its original one. The transformation is taking place, first his head forms up, and then his legs. The transformation is complete and he is ready to devour Cyan. Cyan is also ready to attack. From his past life experiences, he knows that a dragon is most vulnerable during transformation. Cyan leaps into the air, above the dragon. Mr. Dragon questions, how could a lowly human know his weakness? Cyan strikes him at his horn and he cries in pain. The pain is excruciating and he wants to get out of the situation, but Cyan says that it's too late for that. He uses Fog Sword, unshakable roots of a great tree. He cuts deeper into his skin and the dragon couldn't bear the pain any longer. He tries to shake Cyan off but fails at it. Brian comes calling for Cyan, asking if he is alright. But when he sees something horrific, he closes Nana's eyes with his hands. Cyan is eating the dragon's meat, he even gives a piece to Brian while saying that it's precious, and he should eat it. Nana smells the meat, and she also wants it. Cyan declines her request, she is a half-dragon and shouldn't eat dragon meat. Back in the palace, Kellen reports to Askell about Cyan. He asks if there is some unknown force supporting his brother. Kellen replies that it's what seems, the informants sent by us were also eliminated. He asks if that's all he got. Kellen apologizes for gathering less info on Cyan. Askell looks closely at him and finds something strange in him. He couldn't sense the desperation he had before leaving, it feels like he is a completely different person now. Askell brushes off these feelings and says that he would like to ask him a question. Kellen sweats nervously while Askell stares at him intently. Kellen believes that Lord Askell has started doubting him. So he thumps his fist on his chest and says, "Let God's blessing be with you, young master." Askell is happy now and he appreciates his response. He says that this was what he was missing from the start, now that he has said it, he is dismissed. Kellen on the other hand sweats profusely. He turns back and thinks about being more careful next time. If his doubts bloom fully, then he won't be able to get any information from him. He needs to ensure that he doesn't get in young Master Cyan's way. When Kellen opens the door, he sees a woman standing in front of it. Looking at her, he recalls her to be Cyan's maid. He questions her about what brings her here. Askell replies that he called her. He asks if her name is Emily and she joyfully replies, "Yes, young master." He asks if she could do a favor for him. She blushes and thinks to herself, a favor. And that too from Lord Askell. At some other underground place, dragons are talking about Mr. and Mrs. Dragon going missing. A giant crystal in the center symbolizing a dragon says, they used their powers on the outskirts of Luwin, and that's the last trace they have of them. Both those dragons were above 8-star and yet they were killed. We know this fact by looking at their broken mana stones. These types of destructive traces are only left behind from the battle. Another fellow crystal asks if the one who killed 2 dragons erased all other evidence with magic. If that's the case, then it would most likely be someone with dark elemental powers. The only one who is capable of killing them near the academy is the dean of that academy. However, he doesn't possess dark elemental powers. So this means, there is some 4th individual we don't know of. Another crystal says that they are aware of a boy named Cyanvert, who is the only user of dark elements in the Royal Academy. There are rumors that he has survived an attack from the Devil Dragon on the front lines. Perhaps, he has something to do with the death of Reynald Crimson and Zitcherman Albus. They both worked with us, bringing test subjects and materials. The green crystal asks if there could be a connecting link between them. If that's possible, then he will have to keep an eye on Cyan's movement. He sends her granddaughter, Lunav Rainreaver, to the academy to get acquainted with Cyan. At the Royal Academy dormitory, Aaron brings a special cake, especially for Nana. She says to enjoy gobbling it and Nana is happy to receive it. Nana likes her very much. Instead of a single gift, Aaron brings her a load of various gifts, which leaves both Cyan and Nana amazed. Cyan is happy to see Nana having some fun. After the dragon incident, they have to stay low for a while. If the dragons were able to sense her presence, they might ambush us again. He will make sure that no one can put a hand on the people he has. Since he has decided to live purely for his own sake, he will defend them. Also, he will ruin his bastard brother's life. Aaron looks at Cyan happily and asks if something good has happened to him. He usually doesn't smile. Cyan says that he just had some nice thoughts of his brother. At the Vert residence garden, two royal people are talking with each other. This person is Lionel Severus, the first prince of the kingdom, and Princess Aaron's big brother. He asks how Askell is doing these days. He starts buttering him by saying that he is doing good because of him. He replies, "Stop kissing my ass, I want to ask you how long you intend on rotting in this place. I heard that Alice has left on a journey." Askell says that he is also worried about her, he doesn't know what she's doing and where she is. Lionel makes fun of him, "Ha! Worried about her? Aren't you worried that she might threaten your position of power?" Askell coldly replies that it isn't something we should speak of. Lionel chuckles, "Come on, Askell, we are friends, we shouldn't hide things from each other. Also, was your younger brother's name Cyan?" He further says that my father is interested in him, to the point that he seems to be considering an engagement between him and Aaron. I don't know why he's so adamant about protecting his useless garbage daughter. Askell says that there is no need to rush. The more attention she receives and the more power she gains, the more beneficial it will be for us to use her as a puppet. While drinking his wine, Lionel takes an interest in his idea. He even offers him his precious wine as a token of friendship and they chat away for a while. In the next scene, 2 years have passed and nothing much happened. Cyan lived an ordinary student life, trying his best not to attract attention. The people look at someone and blush on seeing her. A person who already has a girlfriend looks at the woman who went past him. The next moment he is getting scolded by his girlfriend. This beauty is Alice, and she is Cyan's elder sister. She came back to the Royal Academy after her travel. She goes straight to the dean's office and shuts the door behind her. The dean welcomes her arrival. He asks if she enjoyed her travels. She says she visited Fruina. The dean is astonished to hear about the place Fruina. It's a place where human beings are not welcomed. She replies that he is correct, it took her a year to adjust there. She wanted to find the meaning of harmony he mentioned. Since he said that that place would hold her back from growing, she went there and now she knows where she belongs. He asks if she has made up her mind. She replies affirmatively, she is going to join the Knights of Lights. Dean asks if she is going to continue on the will of her family. She replies that someone has to take on that role. Also, she is worried about his younger siblings, especially Cyan, who is so shy. The dean laughs over her anxiety and she is confused about what's so funny. Cyan is a shy person. How amusing. Cyan replies from his sister's back that he is being too harsh with his words. Her sister is happy to see him after a long time. Cyan has grown up a lot in 2 years and he says he also missed her. The trio are now taking a walk in the Royal Academy. Alice says that he has changed quite a bit. He is now the same height as her and she is sure that within a few years, he will be taller than her. Cyan jokingly replies that it's not him who has grown taller, but her sister has shrunk in height. Alice pinches his cheeks and says that's enough Cyan. Cyan clearly remembers this day, July 2nd year 988. It was the last day that he saw his sister alive. Alice asks that it is already summer break and he hasn't gone home yet. He replies that no one other than her would welcome him there. She is surprised, does no one like you there? Is that why he didn't go home for 2 years? Cyan doesn't want to go home because of a couple of reasons. The first one is because Askell is there. Second is the Duke's wife, she will try to kill him whenever she gets a chance. Also, his father doesn't do anything about it. Going back to that place will be an act of suicide. He doesn't want to go there until he graduates. Alice asks if he and Krantz are good friends. Cyan replies that it could never be possible in this life. She inquires about why he is saying that. You know it very well sis, how he treated me back then. He has even tried to kill me once. Alice's world turns upside down on hearing this. Brian replies that he has seen it himself. Alice asks who is he and Cyan replies that he is my guardian knight, Brian Kendrick. She now understands that why he was following them earlier. Cyan then explains to her about the incident where he was attacked by the mercenaries hired by Krantz's mother. Alice didn't know anything about it as she was in Fruina. Cyan says that the bad guys are the Krantz and his mother. So don't blame yourself, it's not your fault. She gets very angry after hearing this. Cyan asks if she is even hearing to what he is saying. She asks if he has talked to anyone else about this. He replies that what's the point in talking about it? It's all in the past. Also, Krantz doesn't seem to be reflecting on his actions at all. Suddenly, Alice hugs him. She says that there is no need to keep all of this burden to himself, and he can rely on her sometimes. She will protect him from now on. Brian sheds tears on this and Alice tells him that she wants to stay longer with him, but she has to go somewhere. She advises him to take care of himself while she's gone. Before leaving she also hugs Brian and asks him to take care of her little brother. Cyan tells him not to have any pervy thoughts about her, otherwise he would kill him. After spending the afternoon with Alice, it's time for her to leave now. Brian bows in respect and Cyan gives her a goodbye. Cyan thinks that it's been a while since he saw that angry look on her face. The last time he saw that face was when he was a child. Cyan was struggling in a fight against Krantz. Krantz mocked him for being pathetic. He told Cyan to get up and get his ass beaten again. Even after Cyan's endless requests to spare him, he wasn't spared. He hit him with his sword while making fun of him. Even though Cyan was beaten, Krantz kept attacking him for fun. A voice from behind told him to stop. Alice asked him what he was up to. She asked Krantz to apologize to him. That was the only time he saw that angry look on her face. Now that she is going back home, there will be an uproar in the house pretty soon. After all, she needs to know the truth about her family, so that he can protect her and the miserable future that lies ahead. While Cyan is busy thinking, Brian brings him 2 letters. Cyan asks from where he got them. Brian replies that one is from the academy and another one is from some janitor. Cyan takes the black letter from him and Brian asks isn't he going to take the other one? Cyan replies that the second letter is probably from his home. Brian says, he is right, it has got an imperial family seal on it. He opens the letter and Kiram is also interested to read it. Cyan explains that his family holds a banquet around this time of the year, so just throw the letter away. The letter Cyan is holding is an assassination mission. He has to assassinate Drenian Nephilis. Cyan clearly remembers that Drenian caused a big incident in his past life when his family hosted the banquet. It came as a shock to him that he was behind it as he was the younger brother of the current empress. Kiram asks if he will be going then. Cyan replies that he will go because of some business there. Now that he thinks about this, someone else was assigned this mission in his past life. Perhaps, the hall master has taken a liking to him. Kiram takes the letter from Brian and says this letter is from Princess Erin. Kiram reads Erin's love letter and makes fun of Cyan for getting a future wife. Cyan uses demonic sword restriction on her and she gets smashed on the ground. He asks Brian to ignore her and make preparations to go to the home. A door opens and Nana comes out of it while saying she's hungry. Brian is shocked at seeing her while Cyan asks what is wrong with him. The next moment Cyan gets shocked too. Nana has grown a lot in 2 years and I must say she looks gorgeous. But she is still growing even more and that surprises Cyan. Now at Cyan's home, Alice is rushing towards it. She bursts open the gate, and the servants get puzzled on seeing her arriving suddenly. The head servant is so confused that he couldn't even welcome her properly. On the other hand, Alice is super angry and asks where that damn Duchess is. The Duchess is peacefully reading a book in her room. Her attention diverts to the sudden opening of the door. She sees Alice coming towards her. She nervously asks that it's been so long since she saw her, how is she doing? Alice, without responding to her questions, slaps her right on the face. The head servant comes behind Alice, inquiring about her reason for slapping the Duchess. The Duchess asks if she has gone nuts, but Alice replies that she is the one who has gone out of her mind. With anger brimming in Alice's eyes, she accuses her of trying to kill Cyan. Deep down, the Duchess thinks about how she came to know her truth. But on the surface, she plays innocent and asks for proof. Alice makes the deduction that since she is asking for the evidence, it means she has committed that crime. The Duchess reprimands her for falsely accusing her when she doesn't have any proof. She orders the guard to drag her out of there. The guards charge at her while apologizing for the same. She quickly jumps over the first guard and knees him on the neck. She then uses the elemental spirit to deal with the remaining guards. On the other hand, the Duchess is speechless to see her take down the guards so effortlessly. She tells Alice not to come any closer to her. Alice tells her that Cyan's knight confessed to all her crimes. He said that you were behind the assassination attempt on Cyan 2 years ago. She is going to tell her father about it and get her a severe punishment. After taking revenge and knocking down guards, she leaves the room. The panicked Duchess exclaims that the Duke doesn't care about Cyan Vert. As it turned out, the Duke already knew that the Duchess tried to kill Cyan. Alice gets shocked. She says that his child was almost assassinated and yet he didn't do anything. The Duke thought that if Cyan was fine then there was no need to do anything. However, Alice protests by saying that Cyan had to deal with 6 knights, if it weren't for Brian, he would have died. Duke laughs at this. He says that Brian is good for nothing knight and Cyan is the one who killed those knights. She still doesn't know her brother well. The Duke hands her over a banquet invitation letter. Since he can't go there, so he wants her to go instead. He tells her to relax and reminds her not to worry about Cyan. He is much stronger than she thinks. After talking with her father, she can't understand why her father is so carefree about Cyan. While walking down the hallway, she meets a fellow knight, Cecilia. She is happy to see Alice and hugs her. Alice tells her to get dressed up as they will be leaving for the banquet. On the other hand, Cyan is also traveling to the banquet. He also brought Nana alongside him and she is happy to see the outside world. She gets excited on seeing a deer and Cyan tells her to put the tail away. With a bit of concentration, she puts her wings and tail away and looks like a normal human. Cyan reminds her that she is disguised as his maid and should act like one. However, his instinct tells him that she might create some trouble. Suddenly, Brian halts the carriage and Cyan inquires about the abrupt stop. Brian replies that some bandits are blocking the way, they are demanding everything we have. Cyan just tells him to get rid of those losers. So, Brian jumps into action and cuts the first bandit's head. Other bandits get enraged by their comrade's death and try to kill him. However, Brian uses serial slash to deal with them. The pathetic Brian we used to know is no longer pathetic, he has grown stronger. Soon after, they once again set out on their journey. An assistant brings the list of people attending the banquet to the hall master. She asks if they should postpone the assassination of Dreamy and Nephilis. But Sarika tells her that it has to happen right now. That person is a rapist and only goes after the married woman using his powers. Plus, he is her fiancé. She then looks at another person attending the banquet and is surprised to see the name Lune of Rainreaver. She is a rare genius with elemental stats of 20%. Although she can't attend many lessons because of her fragile body. But, what's interesting is that this child has never shown up in society. She questions her reason for attending the banquet. Her assistant replies that the president of the association told her to attend, and this makes Sarika feel uneasy about it. On the other side, Cyan's group has reached the palace and Nana gets excited. However, she bumps into a person, and he scolds her for walking absent-minded. She apologizes and asks about what she could do to make up for it. On seeing such cuteness the man blushes and says it's alright. Nana tells her papa that people are kind here. However, Cyan tells her to get away from that person. Cyan is depressed that he will now have to babysit Nana as she doesn't about the outside world. Brian tells Cyan that Nana's eyes are changing. Plus, she is emitting an aura to kill people. Cyan tells Brian to take her to a restaurant quickly and feed her good food. He got worried that she might have started eating people because of hunger. At the restaurant, Nana eats tons of food and stockpiles dozens of plates on the table. Cyan is glad that he brought enough money to feed her. Suddenly, Cyan feels strange mana in the air and a girl greets him. She asks if he is Cyan Vert. Cyan wonders who she is. And how does she know his name? She casually sits beside Cyan, while he inquires about her identity. She replies that her name is Lunav and she goes to the same academy as him. She's a second-year student. However, Cyan finds the name familiar but can't remember it exactly. He says that he doesn't care about students who aren't in the same year. To this Lunav says that it's fine as she's a loner compared to him. Nana asks if they are friends and Brian is quite uncertain of it. Lunav sees Cyan's guardian knight and maid eating with him, so she compliments Cyan on being a kind-hearted person. However, Cyan smells something fishy in her flattery. Lunav asks if he came to the capital for the banquet and Cyan gives her an affirmative answer. She was also invited to the banquet and happened to see him here, so she came to meet him. Cyan thinks if she received a letter then she has to be a noble. She gets up from her seat and says that they will meet again soon. Before leaving she tells Cyan her full name, that is Lune of Rainreaver. On hearing her full name, Cyan recalls her. She's the Garam Mage President's granddaughter. In the past life, she died young while attending the academy. The reasons were unknown, perhaps the association did intense experiments on her which resulted in her death. Cyan hadn't met her in the previous life, but he saw her now. This means that the future is constantly changing. He can't understand why all of this has to happen on this day. On the other hand, Princess Erin is getting dressed for the banquet and she asks Lex about her looks. Lex compliments her on being charming and attractive. But, Erin is still confused and thinks about trying other dress instead. However, Lex tells her that Cyan will like her current dress. To this Erin asks once again and Lex tells her not to play dumb as she invited Cyan to this banquet. Soon after, Erin's maid came in with a necklace. She tells her that it's a gift from her brother. Erin can't believe that her brother cares about her. Lex teases her by saying that Cyan will like this necklace on her. At the banquet hall, many nobles are having a good time, and Cyan is leaning on the wall thinking about the target that he has to assassinate. Cyan sees his subordinate Kellen in the shadows and asks if Askell is here too. He tells him that Askell is with Prince Lewin. However, there's something important he must tell. He asks Cyan to leave the banquet hall. He doesn't have a good feeling about this and believes many people including him will be in danger. Askell has ordered him to leave this place before the banquet begins as he has prepared a small event. Cyan can't believe his ears that Askell is the one behind this incident in his previous life. Kellen tells him not to get injured and Cyan tells him to leave. Before leaving, he advises Cyan to be careful. Cyan smirks and thinks that his bastard brother is more crazier than he anticipated. Kiram jokes if he is worried about innocent people's deaths. Cyan tells her that he is accustomed to people dying, but he will have to push off the mission. Using psychological influence, he tells the hall master about her dress being cute. He tells her that he will have to push the purification mission as there will be multiple deaths in this banquet hall. There's no time to explain it all, but for now, they have to check if there are any monsters nearby. Sarika asks if his intel is trustworthy. Cyan had the intuition that things would go wrong and he just confirmed his suspicion now. He tells her not to worry much as his perverted fiancé who needs to be assassinated will die in it too, and this makes her angry. Before leaving he tells her to be cautious and Sarika tells him to explain everything later on. Suddenly, Alice comes to see her instructor. They both talk for a while and during the conversation, Sarika thinks that she too might get killed in this incident. Their conversation is cut short by a man flattering about their beauty. Sarika isn't happy to see the target approaching them. He bows and introduces himself while having wicked thoughts about them. On the other side, Cyan tells Brian to do something and Brian starts giving a long speech about being faithful to him. Cyan tells him to drop the formalities. He thinks that Brian acts more confidently ever since he drank dragon blood. Cyan tells him to inspect the underground pathways of the palace, but Brian refuses, saying he is scared of dark places. Cyan gets annoyed by him and commands him to just go there. Suddenly, Brian tells him to look behind. A suspicious person is peeking at him. Without a second thought, Brian rushes to take her down and tackles her onto the ground. Cyan says that he knows her and that Brian should just leave her, and he apologizes for the mistake. At the same time, a person has organized men underground for today's ambush. He tells his subordinate to arise from the shadows. At the banquet hall, Aaron is looking for Cyan but can't find him anywhere. But she finds Lune of Rainreaver and she greets her. She's happy to see Aaron recognize her and Aaron welcomes her to the banquet. Lunev is also looking for Cyan but can't find him too. To this Aaron asks if she knows Cyan and Lunev tells her how close she was to Cyan yesterday. This makes Aaron ask if they are close to each other. Lunev finds her thoughts interesting and asks if she's in love with Cyan. However, their conversation gets cut short when a person assassinates a noble. Aaron can't believe how a monster like him invaded the banquet. The people began screaming and running wildly on seeing him, and the assassin set his next target to be Princess Aaron. On the other side, Nana introduces herself to Emily as Cyan's maid. This comes as a shock to Emily and she slumps on the ground. Compared to her, she's younger and cuter. Emily cries if she is the reason that the young master left her. Cyan ignores her question and asks if Askell brought her here. She replies that Askell wanted her so much and even offered her a job. He asked her to work as his maid. However, she declined her request as she would have to serve young Master Cyan on his return. Even after her refusal, he still brought her here, which means he hasn't given up yet. Cyan understands the situation and tells Brian to guard Nana and Emily. Cyan thinks that the future has changed. Emily wasn't here in his previous life. He's angry that his brother is trying to harm the people close to him. After Cyan has left, Emily forgot to tell him about the bow tie Askell gave her, and Nana smells something strange coming from it. At the top floor of the banquet hall, Askell tells Lewin that the massacre has begun. Lewin is happy to see their hard work bear good fruits today. The person they have hired is Boris and he is quite useful for their plans. They will use him to change this empire as they wish. With a wicked smile, Lewin plans to kill the emperor today. At the banquet hall, Aaron is helping people to evacuate the place. Lunev tells Aaron to leave, but she's reluctant to stay. An assassin starts killing guards and the captain encourages his men to stop them. However, his morale drops when he sees more of them show up. Not only assassins but high-level demonic beasts have also joined the party. He cries in despair as the situation is unwinnable. However, Sarika intervenes and kills the demonic beast in one go. She tells everyone to evacuate quickly. While the captain is lost in thoughts, an assassin tries to kill him from behind. However, Alice uses Quick Blade to kill him just in time and tells him to leave this place to them. Captain agreeing to this, tells everyone to evacuate. The demonic beast makes his next attack, and Alice and Sarika prepare themselves. However, the attack goes past them and its target is Aaron. Sarika tells her to get out of the way. But the captain saves her just in time. He tells other guards to take care of her as he will die soon from that attack. The attacks have pierced through his body and he dies in the arms of Princess Aaron. She considers herself to be the reason behind her death. Lunev prepares a counterattack and demolishes that beast. Aaron notices her incredible abilities and is amazed to see it. Lunev tells her to evacuate safely as there's no hope for him. The guards also surround her, ready to defend at all costs. They make it a commitment not to let their captain's death go in vain. Lunav suggests Eren leave, and before going she casts a grim armor and tells the guards about it. She suggests avoiding contact with those poisonous roots as one attack will kill them. She gives them an order not to die and they begin their counterattack. They make some progress and cut the roots. But they are not a match for the mighty beast and they get slapped by it. Alice uses her freeze spell to stop enemy movements and rushes towards Eren's aid. On the other hand, Sarika is dealing with demonic beasts alone. She thinks if she fights with a dagger then it might reveal her true identity. But considering the situation, hiding her identity will do her no good. She uses the technique, 8 fluttering petals, and kills the monster in one go. The guards notice the movements of the beast have stopped. As one guard was about to leave, an assassin came from behind. But Sarika kills him and advises him to be on guard. She thinks that she needs to hold on until the princess gets out of there safely, but she can't let go of this uneasy feeling. On the other hand, Alice is escorting Eren. Their escape route gets blocked by a monster popping out of the ground. Alice thinks that these monsters are behaving as if they already know about their escape. She considers defeating a high-ranking Nightcrawler a challenge. Both Eren and Lunav help Alice by binding that monster down. They hold the monster down to some extent and advise Alice to finish it off quickly. She too thinks that this is not the time to be depressed in front of his juniors. The monster uses a powerful attack, and Lunav blocks it successfully. Using the window of opportunity, Alice kills the Nightcrawler with her aqua blade. At the same time, Sarika has dealt with assassins and beasts alone. She takes off the mask to see the identity of these assassins and confirm her suspicions. She is surprised at seeing corpses attacking them. She remembers that there's a spell that could bring back the dead alive. However, this spell is difficult to cast and banned as well. Creating such a huge army of undead would have required an immense amount of mana and time. This means that more than one people are involved in this. Whoever it is, they want to start a war or something. On the other side, the Emperor finally kills all the assassins. With his old age approaching, he can't keep fighting for long hours. Both Askel and Lewin act concerned for His Majesty's safety. He says that everything is fine if they are with him. Askel helps His Majesty get up and the Emperor thanks him for it. He is concerned about the people at the banquet. He tells them to leave him and save those people. But Askel says that the knights assigned there are strong and will take care of it. With a sinister smile, he tells him, they will never leave his side. Now, onto Princess Eren's side. Even after dealing with the Nightcrawler, their worries are not over yet as more assassins have shown up to the party. The scene shifts to Emily talking about the bow tie. Brian asks if Askel gifted this to her. This unusual gift makes Brian feel uncomfortable. Emily asks if there's something wrong with it. To this Brian says that Askel has never sent a gift to Cyan before. He always felt that young Master Cyan harbored resentment against Master Askel as if there was something deeper than family issues. Suddenly, Nana tells Brian to run. She says that something dangerous is headed their way. Emily sees Nana's eye change dramatically and soon after the walls behind them get burst. A high-ranking monster has made its grand entry. At the banquet hall, everyone is running. Among all the people, the target is running at the front. He managed to get out of there faster than everyone, but he never expected to see these monsters guarding the front door as well. He deeply desires to go home in one piece, just so that he can spend a good time with his mate at home. He asks the guard if the back doors are safe, but the guard is unsure about it. However, he won't have much to complain about as the assassin kills him. People scream on his death and guards prepare to defend against them. Suddenly, Alice shows up from behind and dispatches all the assassins in one swing. Lunav follows up with her attack and freezes the remaining of them. The guards are amazed to see them killing those monsters in an instant, and Alice tells the guards to protect Eren. Currently, Eren is sitting beside Lunav asking if she's alright. She says that the next attack will begin soon and insists she leaves quickly. Alice issues orders to the guard knights to protect the nobles and hold until the battle is over. She also tells the royal knights to protect Eren in case she goes down. She is uncertain about this situation as no matter how many she kills, more keep coming. It feels like they are being lured into a trap. Eren and her teammates get ready for the next attack. Although she doesn't notice, the necklace given by her brother is acting strangely. On the other side, Brian is facing the high-ranking monster. He believes that something must have happened at the banquet as Cyan said. Otherwise, such a high-level monster won't appear out of nowhere. Up till now, he had Cyan backing him, but now he has to defend himself. He also needs to protect Nana and Emily as well. The monster looks at them and Brian advises Emily to stay behind him. They start exchanging blows with each other. After one strike, Brian gains confidence that he can deal with this monster. But the very next moment, he gets hit by multiple barrages of attack, and he has a hard time dealing with them. The monster soon closes the gap and tries to eat Brian alive. He apologizes to Cyan in advance for not being able to defend people close to him. However, Nana transforms and interrupts the dragon's attack. Emily gets confused about seeing Nana transform. Nana smirks, and judging by it, Emily and Brian are in good hands. However, things aren't so good for the Aaron's group as dozens of assassin attacks them. Alice thinks if this drags on, their grave will be incarnated here. They need a different solution as the knights will soon get tired of this continuous onslaught. While Alice is attacking, the mask comes off an assassin's face. What she sees next surprises her. These assassins aren't humans but undead resurrected with dark magic. She fiercely thinks of a solution while fighting. The first thing that comes to her mind is the God of Light's magic, which counters the dark spells. Only if she can cast light magic, then she will win. Suddenly, the solution strikes in her mind. She asks Aaron to imbue her sword with her mana. Aaron replies that if she does that then she can't provide a protection spell to the knights. However, the knights assure her that they will do fine and can hold on for a bit. Agreeing to this, Aaron uses Blessing Light on Alice's sword. Alice gets happy to see things working out in her favor and believes if she combines her mana with Aaron's, then things will go smoothly. Although she's unsure of the success rate, taking this risk could be their only chance to survive. The scene shifts to Cyan defeating all the undead. He thinks that Boris is helping Askell. Kiram says that it's a necromancy type of dark magic and it's quite ancient. Cyan agrees, this was a tactic this guy used frequently. Accelerating monsterification requires Day's Stone. The mana in those stones attracts monsters. Kiram says that she could feel Day's Stone mana coming from over there. Cyan agrees that the entire place has become a bloodbath. But first, he needs to get changed. The scene shifts back to Alice summoning her spirit. Lunav thinks that mana can't be mixed with others. She won't be able to hold it up for long in such an unstable state. If they don't stop her, her body might break down. Even the spirit asks why she's sacrificing herself, and Alice says she couldn't think of any other way. The spirit asks why she has to suffer such a cruel fate. The undead charges at her and the spirit tells them to get away from this child. She unleashes a powerful aura, sending the undead back. Aaron can't believe that her swing has this much force, while Lunav says that it's not enough. They are quickly getting up. Aaron tells her to stop, but Alice thinks that the situation will get worse if she stops. She needs to end this here. She uses the spirit's authority, but someone grabs her hand. Everyone look in utter shock as to how could an undead get close to her. No, he has a completely different aura to him. Alice wonders if this is black fog and she can't move. She thinks she would be consumed by black fog at this rate. The spirit tells her that she will be leaving and it is a pleasure to be here. The undead whose Cyan lets go of her hand, and she thinks she doesn't have energy left in her body. The spirit goes away, saying that Fruina will welcome her with open arms. Alice asks what just happened and Lunav replies that he blocked off the mana to nullify the manifestation of spirit. She's unsure if it's a human or undead. Alice thinks that it's over and the undead are charging at them. However, Cyan deals with all the undead. Alice can't believe that he's on their side. Cyan keeps attacking the undead but notices something peculiar. These undead are drawn towards Aaron as if they are strongly attracted to something. Cyan asks Kiram if she could sense any mana from that group. Kiram replies that she could feel mana similar to monsters from Aaron's necklace. Cyan understands it and says he'll close the distance in one go. Cyan uses the creation space fog domain and envelopes every undead around him. The guard tells them to be on guard, they don't know what could be inside of the fog. Cyan binds all the undead within his domain, and Alice can't believe that it consumed all the undead like that. Everything feels so quiet now as if nothing happened. Aaron thinks that he killed all those undead, but who's that masked person? Suddenly, Lunav faints on the ground and Aaron tells her to get it together. Cyan approaches Aaron from behind and this shocks everyone. He takes her as hostage and they demand that he let go of her now. Aaron thinks that he seems to be kind of familiar. Cyan destroys her necklace and the rest grow worried as they see it as an attack. One guard attacks Cyan but he quickly leaves the scene. They see that the masked person has approached Lunav now. Aaron tells him to get away from her and blasts an energy beam at him. It hits Cyan but he turns into fog. Cyan tells them not to worry, he isn't here to harm them. He destroyed the necklace because it attracted the monsters. They should go through the front gate and out of the place. He has already cleared a path for them. Aaron looks up and sees everything turning back to normal. A guard asks if she's hurt anywhere and she replies she's okay. She then asks if Lunav is alright. Alice says that she is alright and they must leave through the gate as he said. Alice thinks that getting these kids to safety is her priority, she will think about that man later. On the other hand, Nana has dealt with the beast that showed up. Emily asks if he's sure that she's Cyan's maid and Brian is quite unsure of himself. He has never seen Nana like this before. Cyan explains that there was a rumor about the banquet hall in his past life. It resulted in the death of many people and Aaron was accused of this incident. The Day's Stone likely caused it, and Askell or Lewin must have given that to her. After that incident, they were praised as heroes of the Empire and they benefited a lot from this. Kiram asks if they made up this whole incident for their profit. Sometimes, she feels like humans are worse than demons. Cyan says that this is nothing compared to what they will do in the future. He has done worse things than this in his previous life. Kiram asks if he's leaving. Cyan agrees, Nana must be waiting and Knights will take care of the rest. Kiram says that there's something that bothers her. Cyan asks what is it and Kiram replies that her maid, Emily, smelled like Day's Stone too. On the other hand, Nana says that Emily smells delicious. Brian tries to calm her down while Emily says she doesn't taste good. Brian wonders what's happening with her now. For some reason, she only wants to go after Emily, he needs to stop her now. But he also can't hurt her. Nana dashes forward saying she can't wait anymore. Brian thinks he can't do this, he can't hurt her. At that moment, Cyan intervenes and takes the attack on himself. Brian and Emily worry about Cyan while Kiram gets behind them. Kiram takes the bow tie from Emily and she inquires about her identity. Kiram crushes the bow tie and Emily asks what is she doing. She then tells Nana to get a grip. Her beloved father is here. Nana gets normal and asks what happened. She sees that Cyan is hurt and asks if she did this to him. Cyan says that it's okay and doesn't hurt at all. She didn't mean to, so she did nothing wrong. He says that they should go as this place is a mess. The scene shifts to Lewin thinking about what's going on here. This place should have been full of monsters yet it's so quiet. The Duke says that he can't see monsters around here and Lewin says it's a relief. They hear someone calling out to the Duke as a father. Erin rushes to meet her father. Duke feels relieved while Askell clutches his teeth in anger. They hug each other, saying they are glad to be alright. He tells her that he got here safely thanks to them. Lewin coldly replies that he's glad she isn't dead. Erin also says the same but a bit politely. She has a ton of questions she would like to ask him. Others greet the Majesty and he thanks them for protecting his daughter. He'll reward them handsomely for this. Erin looks behind and sees Askell whispering something to Lewin. Lewin then points his weapon at Lunav, saying he knows who's behind the incident. Granddaughter of the Garam Mage Association, you are under arrest. Alice wonders what he's trying to do here. Duke tells him to lower the sword. Erin also says that she saved many lives. Lewin says that it must be a trick, Garam Kingdom was always looking for a chance to strike them. Their goal must be an assassination with the intent of creating chaos. Lewin asks for proof and Askell says that he detected a suspicious aura last night. The Duke asks if it's true, he should be smart with his words. Lewin says that he invited them to settle this peacefully and kept an eye as well. He'll find evidence if he gives him time, and Duke agrees to the condition. Lewin says that they could leave things to him and Lunav wonders if it's a trap set up by him or her grandfather. Soon enough, Lunav got imprisoned along with her group. Lex hugs Erin on seeing her alright. Funerals were held for the people who sacrificed their lives. Cyan thinks that he was able to prevent more deaths in this life, but this would still be called the Banquet of Blood. Alice bandages Cyan and he tells her she doesn't need to do this. It could have been dangerous and it's a good thing he ran away. If it weren't for that person that day, she would have died too. She wonders just who that person was. She says that this height was similar to him. Now that she thinks about it, Cyan, you must have gotten a lot stronger, you have scars as well. Cyan replies he is and she asks if he's embarrassed. She asks if she can touch his muscle but he walks away. At that moment, Askell comes in and says he's quite jealous that they are close. He asks if he's alright and Cyan replies, yes, thanks to him. Alice thinks that he's quite wary of Askell. Does he know that Askell has a cruel side to him? Askell says that they found a bracelet with Day's Stone in Lunav's room. She claims that it was gifted to her, so does he know who it could be? Also, does he remember receiving anything from anyone during the banquet? Cyan replies he doesn't know. Does he know about it? Askell replies that there was a merchant in that place. He was found dead today and he's looking for further leads. He asks if he's sure that he didn't receive anything that day. Cyan thinks he's not doing an investigation, he's making a scapegoat. He thinks Emily must be in danger. Cyan says that his head hurts and apologizes for not feeling well. Alice says that he lost a lot of blood and needs to rest. Askell agrees and says he should rest, he'll leave now. Before he leaves, Cyan says that he doesn't remember receiving anything. Even if someone tried, they couldn't have survived it. Askell thanks him for the info and thinks it could be true. That's good enough as he doesn't have to eliminate anyone else. But this was quite a shame, he could have gotten rid of him. Alice worriedly looks at Cyan and slaps him in the back, suggesting he lies down already. The scene shifts to a maid asking why they are doing this to her. She did as she was told, she gave Princess Erin that necklace. She won't know what purpose it served, so spare her. Boris says that she fulfilled her role. Unfortunately, he'll have to do his part. The more he thinks about it, the more unpleasant he feels. He kills her and says she should rest in peace. He then summons a beast to devour the corpse, so that no evidence remains. The scene shifts to Brian bringing some apples for Emily. They sit down and Emily asks how long they are supposed to stay here. Brian replies that they'll have to stay here until the young master tells them. Earlier, Cyan took the bow tie and thought that Askell made things complicated for them. He burns it and tells Emily to listen closely to him. The palace and Vert estate aren't safe for her anymore, so she should stay hidden for a while. He instructs Brian to protect Emily as he has some business to tend to. She pats Nana and tells her to wait for a while and don't cry. Brian thinks he has never seen him make that kind of face and hopes he can support him. Emily asks if Nana's alright and Brian replies that she struggled for a few days but is fine now. Emily never thought that she could be a draconic human. She suggests that they do their best to support the young master, and Brian happily agrees to it. Later, Lewin asks how could he let go of the suspects when they have the evidence. Duke tells him to watch his mouth, he has already made up his mind. Lewin asks how he'll reign over the continent if he's so soft. He blasts a spell near him, saying that's enough. Reigning over the continent is a nice goal. However, their Ushif Empire shares border with the Demon Realm, Garum Kingdom, Sparnia, and Fruina. If they make Garum Kingdom their enemy then they won't be able to hold back the Demon Realm. Even if he gained power over that continent somehow, too many lives would be lost. Someone who does such a thing is a monster, not an emperor. Isn't he aware of that common sense? Lewin insists that they have clear evidence, and Duke asks if he's talking about Day's Stone. Lewin wonders how he knows about it, his people shouldn't be done with their investigation. Duke says that his face tells him everything. He wouldn't give up on something until he got it. Lewin says that he doesn't know what he's talking about but Duke tells him that's enough. Aaron is a better fit to be a ruler than he could. He doesn't want to see him and should get out. Lewin gets annoyed at Aaron and thinks she ruined it all. Suddenly, Lewin barges inside Aaron's room and Lex tries to stop him, but he punches her instead. He asks how has she been doing. He has come to talk with his precious sister. Lex says that even though he's a prince, if he continues to act in this way then she'll have to take action. Lewin asks what will she do then. He could have her and all her relatives executed just because of what she said earlier. Aaron tells him to stop, she asks him the reason for visiting her. Does he want to hear something from her? Lewin thinks that she's different from before, is she the same Aaron he knew? If he's not asking then should she tell him that she didn't receive anything from him? Lewin's face grows pale on hearing it. Earlier, the Duke asked where she got the necklace. The jewel in it wasn't ordinary. It's a Day's Stone from the Black Blood tribe and it's used for dark magic. Recently, there has been intel that someone brought those into the palace in secret. The black market merchant and her maid were the ones securing those deals for a while. But the two are either missing or dead right now. Those two were close to Lewin, so is she sure that she didn't get anything from Lewin? Aaron nervously replies that she didn't receive anything. Since he has figured out who brought those jewels, so Lunav should no longer be a suspect and should be released. The Duke agrees and tells her not to worry. Aaron thinks she didn't tell him about Lewin because she's worried about what he might do to the people close to her. She needs to make sure that they no longer get hurt in the future. Lewin asks if she's sure that she said that he never gave her anything and Aaron agrees. But what's with her attitude, she's acting like he has done something wrong. He asks if he should do something about her subordinate, but Aaron says that she has a guest. Lewin asks who could be more important than him, and Aaron replies that he's important to her as well. Cyan apologizes as he didn't mean to disturb them. Lewin wonders what he's doing here, he couldn't even feel his presence. Cyan says that he heard everything that they were talking about. Lewin asks how long he has been hiding and Cyan replies that he just doesn't have much of a presence. Lewin asks how he dares to run his mouth in front of him. Cyan asks what will he do? Will he do something about him too? Lewin wonders if the engagement rumors are true. Making Cyan an enemy won't be good. Just like Askell told him that he wanted to eliminate Cyan as well. He gets on his nerves and he's hiding something very big. Lewin understands what he means, he's giving off an unpleasant feeling of intimidation. Lewin says that he was just joking and all the misunderstandings are clear, he'll leave now. Cyan thinks that Lewin's personality isn't too bad right now. He was nicknamed the Insane Emperor in his previous life, but he's better now. Before leaving he apologizes to Lex and she does the same. Lex breathed a sigh of relief once he left. She thanks Cyan but he replies he didn't do much. The princess did all of the work and she replies that it was thanks to him. She asks why he's sitting next to her and he says that his legs hurt from standing too long. Aaron thinks that he's very close to her. Even Lex is surprised at how Cyan is stupid at these things. Now that he has made him believe that they are together, so he won't harm her. He soon leaves and Lex thanks him once again. Later, Lewin presses Askell on how he'll fix this. He said that his plan would go perfectly, but it didn't. He has lost his father's trust and it's bad. He was supposed to be the savior of the Ushif Empire. Boris replies that there was a bit of success. He introduces himself and greets Lewin. He asks where he had been and Boris replies that he went to carry out Askell's orders. He heard that Emily disappeared, so what was the success? Boris says that they have been underestimating the people around Aaron. Lewin asks if he should reflect on his mistake then, but Boris says that's not the case. He shows them the mana that was used by her friends during the battle. Most of the mana is ordinary, but this one is peculiar. It can be considered something very evil and ominous. This is the mana of the demonic sword. This must mean that one of Aaron's friends possesses the taboo demonic sword. The scene shifts to Brian feeling grossed by the food Emily cooked. He wonders how both of them are unfazed by this. Emily tells Nana to eat it slowly. Brian grows scared as his food moves. Cyan says that he's full and will be leaving now. If he stays here longer then Askell might catch on. He only came here to see if they were alright. It's not safe for them to come back, so they should send Brian if they need anything. He has people standing guard nearby, so this place is very safe. He's leaving and Emily tells him to come back soon. He tells Brian to take care of things and he gloomily replies. A person from Shadow says that he has quite a nice family. Will he explain now what happened earlier? How did he know about the banquet of blood and death of her fiancé? He acts like he knows the future. He should be careful with his word or else she might consider him an enemy. She asks what he's hiding all along. Cyan asks if it's important for her to know how the target was her fiancé. Sarika replies it's necessary, he could be a spy from a different faction. Cyan asks what will she do if he is. She replies that he's asking an obvious question. She attacks Cyan but Kiram deflects it. Sarika asks if she wants to interfere again. Kiram replies that she doesn't listen and she shouldn't mess with her master. Sarika says this moment makes her happier than ever, and Kiram says that she's starting to piss her off. They both start sparring each other and Kiram says that she'll show her something interesting. She attacks her with the authority skill of Black Fog. Sarika thinks that even if it's a powerful attack, she just needs to dodge it. Later, she feels that if she got hit then she would have instantly died. She understands why she stays in sword form. She could easily decimate a city if she wanted. Only the Demon King could have blocked that attack. Kiram tells her to get ready, she was just getting warmed up. Sarika says the same to her. Cyan uses demonic sword control and Kiram gets smashed onto the ground. She says she was just getting started. Cyan says if they make so much ruckus, then they will get caught hiding here. Sarika agrees and says they will shift to another location. Cyan tells them to finish this mess by themselves. Cyan closes the door, leaving both of them outside. Cyan sighs and tells them to pack their bags right now. Suddenly, Lunav shows up in the house and says his family has grown up since she last saw him. Cyan can't believe that she passed through the barrier and missed watch. He asks how she knew about this place. Lunav replies that it's one of her talents, but he shouldn't worry as she's the only one who knows this place. However, the same can't be said with the commotion going on outside. She came here to thank him. Cyan says he didn't do anything for her. Lunav replies she knows about it all. On that day, he came inside her. Brian and Emily look over to Cyan, demanding an answer for what she means. Cyan wonders if she's talking about the time during banquet hall, he thought she was unconscious. She says that she can wield different mana and change them at will. She asks if that sounds amazing. It was a present given to her by her grandfather. Cyan says it's more like a curse, her body got damaged in the process. She asks if it was him who cured her and Cyan says they should talk this somewhere else. Brian and Emily whisper among themselves, and Cyan tells them to get things packed before he gets back. Emily asks where they will be going and Cyan replies to the Lewin Academy. Emily gets happy that she would be able to take care of him all day. However, Brian thinks that his life is doomed, he'll now have to eat food cooked by her. Lunav thinks she had to endure her childhood in a cold dark place and lots of pain. It was her duty to be born as the granddaughter of the Rain Reaver family. She asks if he has a duty of his own, but Cyan replies he doesn't. Then why doesn't he reveal the fact that he saved them? Cyan says it will only bring trouble. She first thought that he had a dark element. She collected some of it when they bumped into each other on the first day. Cyan thinks he didn't know about this in his previous life. Plus, on that day when she was knocked, he infused his mana into her. She asks what is this mana type. Cyan understands why she approached her, is she planning to take that to Rain Reaver? Lunav replies that she won't, it'll only make things complicated. Cyan asks if she's thinking of rebelling against her bloodline. She hugs Cyan and thanks him for relieving some of her old pain. Cyan explains that her body is like a boiling pot that boiled endlessly. Someone put a lid over that pot to stop the loss of mana. However, it boiled for too long, and her mana began to extinguish her life and she soon died. He simply made a hole into the lid of the pot. Because in his eyes she looked to be someone else's puppet, and it frustrated him. Cyan says that there's nothing to thank him for. If she's done, he'll head off now. She should be careful not to overexert herself. Lunav smiles and thinks he's a good person. The scene shifts to Garam's head office. Lunav's grandfather slams the desk and the butler says that Lunav got free without any charges, so they should thank the Ushif Empire for it. He says that's not the case. She's stopping somewhere else before coming here, they must track her down immediately. The scene shifts to Brian guiding the carriage to another location. Inside the carriage, Cyan asks Emily if she's happy. She replies affirmatively, saying she could serve the young master again. She inquires if maids are allowed in the academy. Cyan replies that the principal could make an exception for them. As expected, the dean refused Cyan's proposal. Cyan insists that he permits him as people won't notice her. Dean asks why he should make an exception for him. Cyan replies that he won't skip lessons. Dean gets frustrated as going to classes is a must for students. Also, why does he wants to keep 2 maids instead of 1? Dean asks if his maids are related to Banquet of Blood. It's obvious that he won't ask him for a stupid reason. He asks him the reason again. Cyan replies that he'll tell him if he gives permission first. Dean replies that he can do whatever he wishes. He'll do it despite his rejection. Cyan says that it's difficult for him to explain, but he can tell one thing with certainty. He wasn't the one behind the Banquet of Blood, isn't that what he wanted to know? Dean asks if he's certain about it. Cyan asks just what he thinks about him. Dean clears his throat and says he should never skip his lessons again. Cyan thinks that the conversation with Kundal went well. He wonders how he would have reacted if he realized that the person behind the Banquet of Blood was his grandson. From what he knows, Lewin wasn't the only one involved as he's not that thorough. He assumes Askell planned everything out, and Boris executed their orders. That's how they always did things in his previous life. When Cyan reaches his dorm, he sees Cherikin doing push-ups in front of it. Cyan wonders why he keeps showing up always. Cherikin gets up and says they should fight, it's time to see who's stronger. However, Cyan ignores him, enters his room, and shuts it. Cherikin bangs the door and says they could fight another time when he isn't busy. Cyan thinks that ever since he lost in the duel, he shows up every day. He then sees Brian unconscious on the floor and wonders if he's dead. Emily comes out and Cyan asks what's wrong with Brian. Emily replies that she isn't sure. He fell asleep after eating the cookies she made for him. She asks if he would like to have one. Cyan tells Emily to never cook for Brian again. Emily asks for a reason and Cyan says that she should just follow his order. He sits down on the sofa and feels worried about his future. He sees a letter on the table and asks where it came from. Emily replies that Brian received it. He takes the letter and sees the sender's name to be Lunav. Suddenly, Lunav shows up inside Cyan's room and says that she ran away from her home. The scene shifts to 2 people walking in the sewers. The man says that they came to Ushif Empire to stop Lunav Rainreaver. The girl asks if he's worried about something. The man replies that she's her student, so he's worried for Lunav. Nella replies that she isn't foolish to feel pity for that monster. She'll head to her location and one of her colleagues would have reached her by now. The man bows and says there will be glory in the Garam kingdom. In the evening, Lunav and Cyan sit outside. Lunav says that he was quite aggressive back then, she didn't expect he would just drag her out of his room. Cyan says that there was a barrier spell on the dorm doors, then how did she get past it? Lunav replies that she analyzed the barrier using her mana. She then used a spell to cancel it. Cyan thinks he didn't know she could undo spells. Her abilities are a bit too overpowered. She asks if he read her letter. Cyan replies that she arrived when he was just about to read it. Lunav says that she simply couldn't wait for his response and Cyan asks if someone told her to do this. He asks if her grandfather was the one who told her to get in contact with him. Lunav shyly replies that was the reason but not anymore. However, it's up to him to decide whether he trusts her or not. Cyan replies that he doesn't trust others easily and asks about her intentions. She says that there have been a few ominous things happening. 2 dragons who had been in touch with the association, suddenly disappeared somewhere near Lewin region. Second, the people who had been smuggling items from overseas were found as corpses. She got to know that he was involved in all those cases. It was an assumption, but she's certain now. Cyan thinks he didn't know that those dragons were associated with the Garam kingdom. He asks what she'll do now. Lunav says that she'll die soon and this shocks Cyan a bit. He helped her out before, but now she knows her body condition. She's already broken beyond repair. She believes she has about 3 years left, thanks to his help. Cyan asks why she's so casual about it. Isn't she affected by the fact that she'll soon die? Lunav replies that she wishes she could feel something. Cyan gets up and says it's none of his business, so she should go back. He says that he doesn't want to get involved in annoying affairs and Lunav says that they'll meet next time. Kiram asks if it's okay to leave her like that. Cyan thinks that it's better to not meddle in these things more. The Garam Association has been waiting there for a while. The people surround Lunav and she says that they found her even though she did a great job sneaking out. A girl tells her to come back with them. His grandfather was looking for him. Lunav looks blankly at them and the girl asks what's wrong with her. She says that Victor is the one who comes to pick her up, but who is she? The girl replies that Victor is busy, so she came here instead. They are from the 6th branch of security. Lunav says they are liar, there's no one with the name of Victor. She uses a spell to blast them away and tries to escape. She wonders if those people are from extremists, she needs to get out of here. Suddenly, a person places his hand on her face and uses a sleep spell. Lunav falls unconscious and they say she didn't make it easy for them. The man smirks and tells them to take her to the carriage. Suddenly, Kiram senses magic and says that they are fighting. Cyan wonders if those people are not from Garam Kingdom. The carriage soon arrives at a church with Lunav in it. The man says that he has brought Lunav Rainreaver. A masked person says that she is a pitiful child. She was experimented on all her life and ended being thrown away. The girl says that they will use her for a good cause then. Suddenly, the people notice the presence of black fog around them. A person wonders what Mist is doing here and Cyan kills him quickly. He kills another person while the girl watches in fear. She wonders what's going on and who's attacking them. Cyan with a masked face gets on top of the carriage. Inside the church, the man hears screams coming from outside. The girl asks if there are some uninvited guests. The man replies that someone must have followed them. She thinks an enemy coming here is interesting. She instructs Ralph to deal with the person. Ralph agrees and says he'll silence them. Kiram says that this was easier than expected. However, Cyan says that it's not over and the stronger guys are inside the church. Ralph comes out and says he's not bad. He asks if he came here alone. Cyan thinks that this man feels similar to Lunav but unstable. Ralph dashes forward and says he'll die here. He says defeating a kid like him is a walk in the park. Later, the girl comes out, wondering why Ralph didn't come back. She gets shocked at seeing Ralph being defeated by the enemy. Cyan asks if she's the last one and wants to know the reason they took Lunav. The girl says that he won't be popular among women if he's so interrogative. Cyan thinks that she's combining elements like Lunav. He dodges the attack and thinks he has even more questions now. He pulls out his demonic sword and the girl can't believe what she's seeing. Cyan starts deflecting her attacks with his dagger and she can't fathom his strength. Cyan closes the distance and says he got her. However, the girl leaps into the air and evades the attack narrowly. She thinks that this kid is dangerous and can't be allowed to stay alive. She was about to attack Cyan when Kiram got behind her. Kiram takes hold of the girl and she misses her shot on Cyan. The attack demolishes the church and Cyan thinks that she has a lot of mana. Kiram binds her down and she asks if can't they hear her. Kiram says that struggling is pointless as she can't free herself from those restraints. Cyan asks her who ordered her to kidnap Lunav and how many of them are there. The girl says that he's an interesting kid. She says that he'll soon find out because those people will even seek him in hell. Kiram wonders if she's from the heart curve. Cyan also says that she's using an artifact to keep mana in the heart. Kiram assumes that Lunav has something similar too. The monstrous organization that carries out all vile experiments is called the Path of Evolution. The girl can't believe that they guessed everything right. Cyan pats her and says that she could find the answer in hell. He thrusts his knife into her, thus killing her. Cyan thinks that in his past life, he found an ancient textbook that described the use of heart curbs. It also described how to eliminate it when there was a failure. He extracts the heart curb and thinks it will work. Cyan orders Kiram to get Lunav out of the carriage. Kiram retorts and Cyan asks if she wants him to use sword control. Kiram unwillingly obliges and places Lunav on top of the carriage. Cyan thinks that he doesn't know if things will go well. He crushes the stone and puts mana of it inside Lunav. Cyan believes that if Lunav has something like this in her heart, then this would cure her. The scene shifts to the main building of the Garam Mage Association. Lunav wakes up and feels that her body has gotten lighter. It's like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. Also, she feels more of Cyan inside her body. Outside the building, Kiram asks what he's trying to do. Cyan replies that he thought of using her later on. It would be a shame to kill her. Kiram replies that he's doing more of a charity work. What if he gets stabbed back later on? Cyan laughs and says that it's funny to hear that from her. Kiram replies that she wants to take over her body, so he needs to take care of it. He suggests leaving now, as there's no point of staying here. Later, Lunav's grandfather asks if she doesn't remember what happened after she got kidnapped. Plus, someone brought her here. Lunav replies that she has no clue about it. He asks how he's supposed to believe that. The kingdom is in uproar because of the banquet of blood. The butler steps in and apologizes for his mistake. He should have sought her out earlier. The grandfather says that it wasn't his fault, but she acted on her own. He places his hand on his shoulder and says he's always worked hard for his granddaughter up till now. He uses flames on the butler and says he knew that he betrayed them long ago. Did he think he could get away by harming her? The butler says it's a misunderstanding and begs for a chance to explain things. However, he shuts him down, saying that he's sick of listening to him. He increases the flames and burns the butler. Lunav almost pukes at the sight and thinks that he's too harsh. Grandfather says that he ordered her to be kidnapped. Also, did she found anything about Cyanvert? She thinks he already knows the answer but is still asking her. She replies that there's nothing special in him. He asks for more clarity and Lunav thinks an obvious lie won't work. She says that she returned late because she was meeting him. She couldn't find anything special in his first meeting. He pats her and says that's not the answer he wants to hear. He wants to know what that boy is hiding. He's a vert, so he's got something or someone helping him. Lunav replies that he has a guardian knight and a useless maid. There wasn't any link with him from the banquet of blood. She asks why he's so obsessed with him. He says that she's asking questions, so there must be something about that boy. She tells her not to ask questions and should follow what is being told. She should leave if she doesn't have a response. She's not allowed to go outside for a while. Lunav thinks that she has become sad and tired of this household. The scene shifts to Luwin Academy. Cherikin is sleeping in front of Cyan's door. Cyan thinks that he has become a nuisance, and is skipping classes to fight him. He roams around the campus and a few students discuss how all the lessons have been cancelled. Cyan wonders what's going on in here. Sarika tells Cyan that instructor Nella went missing. She places her hand on him and asks why did he kill her. Cyan asks what she means by that. He says that it wasn't him, he doesn't even know that instructor. Sarika says that it's obvious he doesn't know her since he skips all of his classes. She explains that Nella was a very talented mage from Garam Kingdom. Since there were rumors that she was against Raigan's Rain Reaver, so they were keeping an eye on her. She didn't expect that Nella would kidnap Lunav. They were going to jump into action but he took care of things. Cyan understands now why she looked familiar, he killed an instructor unknowingly. Sarika says that she's the only one who knows it, so he shouldn't worry. Also, she'll give him a mission to stay out of the academy. As for her replacement, advertisements are being posted for the vacancy. The scene shifts to Boris traveling with an old man. The old man asks what brings him so far out and Boris replies that he came here for a job. He heard that the position was available, so that's why he's in a hurry. The man says that a job in Luwin is well respected. He asks if he's a teacher and Boris replies not yet. In Cyan's room, Emily is lying on the couch, saying she's bored. Kiram tells her to move away as that's her spot. Emily replies that this is young master's dorm, so nothing belongs to her. Soon enough, Cyan comes back and asks Emily what happened to her. She replies that Miss Kiram did this to her. Cyan tells Kiram to get up as they are going on a mission. Emily also begs that he take her along. However, Cyan says that he has a more important mission for her. She must make sure that Nana doesn't go hungry. Emily plays the reverse Uno card and says that it's not important, he's making excuses to not take her. She hears Nana's stomach grumble behind the door and thinks she might go crazy if she becomes hungry. Nana comes out of her room, saying she's hungry. Suddenly, Emily shoves food into Nana's mouth. Nana eats happily and Emily says that she'll take care of things here. Cyan gives her a thumbs up and says he believes in her. He tells her not to feed Brian as he's still recovering after eating her food. Kiram asks where they will go this time, and Cyan replies to the southwest of the Ushif Empire. That city is called Lamstur and it has a high crime rate. At Lamstur, a few people bet on the fighters. The audience root for the muscle man to crush his opponent. Even the opponent wonders what kind of monster he is. He says it doesn't matter as he'll crush him. As soon as the match starts, the giant hurls an attack at him. The man thinks that he's slow and will show him now. However, the giant grabs him, starts crushing his bones, and kills him. The winner is announced to be the giant.